me on mine too, and I answered her.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody. Hey,
Hello.
Leanna. Right away. We were just
Yep,
saying
she's there right on time too.
you definitely wanted to sprint today.
Yep.
That's funny.
It's good to see you, Leanna.
Yes, definitely. What are you guys going to be reading today?
Stabbed in the baklava all night.
You mean
Stabbed in the
long.
baklava, one
One
fed
fed
No.
in the grave, right?
That's what I meant.
Hey, Cajun.
Hi, Cajun. That's totally what I meant.
How far are you into that, or not at all?
Oh, I'm on chapter like 17 or 18.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were reading it the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to skim that one and try to see what happens with the end of it because I think I'm like on chapter 11 maybe, but I just don't feel like reading that tonight. So
Hey,
I'm
Mia.
reading Mine by Delilah S. Dawson.
Cool.
Okay.
It's a haunted house kind of spooky middle grade.
Okay.
Nice.
Melanie.
Hi, Anita. Melanie. Hello.
Cajun is reading Murder at the Taffy Shop.
Yay.
That sounds fun. I want a taffy shop.
Yeah.
I just want some taffy. That's it.
What are you reading, Lee?
I'm reading Whispering Pines. It's like a middle grade thriller.
I love that book.
Have you read the second one?
No, I want to. I tried to get like an e-arc or an arc. Never got one.
Okay. Because I'm kind of
on the wish list.
yeah, I'm kind of wondering like where I'm at in the book. I think I'm like at 86%. I'm like, well, no, let me correct that. About 80%. I was like, this is gonna leave off on a cliffhanger. There's no way they're wrapping it up. And then like I was sitting in traffic and like the tide turned and I'm like, oh no, they're gonna tell it to me right now.
No, they're gonna leave you with cliffhanger.
Oh, come on. I thought we were already like we figured out the guy with the eyes, and I'm like, oh.
Like right at the end, it goes, and you're like,
oh, Anita, are you liking that? That's the Ellen Byron book.
Yeah,
I read the first one, and I was not.
I have that one to read,
I
but
didn't
I
really
haven't got
care
it
for
yet.
it, and I thought I would because I like her Cajun country, but
The second one was okay, but it's just not. It's like the other one's my favorite. This one's just okay. I'll read it because I'm already reading it, but and I have it's beginning to look a lot like Murder as an e-arc, so I need to get to it.
That one.
Oh, I also, because I can only do audio at work, obviously, I started Death on Tap for
the brewery
for
one?
my German prompt. What?
Oktoberfest, right?
For my German prompt? What did you ask? I'm sorry.
Isn't that one like at an Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest or something.
Well, it's in a Bavarian town.
Okay.
It is fall. So, but I don't know if exactly Oktoberfest is going on, but somebody's opening up a new brewery, which is the one that she goes and works at after her relationship breaks up. So that's kind of how it starts. But it's in a Bavarian German town. So that is my German theme. And the cover is so cute because it has all the German like Bavarian structures and stuff. So it's fun.
Nice. Leanna's reading Witch Hunt by Kate Conte. Sounds like perfect for this time of year.
Nice.
Nancy, hi. She's back from supper. Pork chops with cream of mushroom soup gravy, fresh spinach, olive oil, and garlic, mashed cauli, and summer squash. I want to eat at Nancy's house tonight.
That sounds delicious.
Sounds good because all I had was pancakes because it was something quick to make.
I had some tacos earlier, but I'm going to have to figure out something for dinner. Anita's just starting the book. Melanie, I'm reading Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. It's horror.
I didn't like that book.
Which isn't my thing generally, but for a book club I belong to. Okay.
Are you liking it? I didn't like it. My friend liked it, I think, but I didn't like it. It was too boring for me.
Okay. Oh, Cajun read the same German prompt. Nice.
Oh, the Death on Tap. Awesome.
Nice.
Nancy, I wanted to ask you about this the other day because I was so busy at work. I saw your message because I get notifications. And so I saw the message, but I think I was like actually in a meeting. So by the time I remembered it, I forgot to. So anyways, Gothic Tales. Did you mention that the lottery was part of that? Because I hated that story. We had to read that story. Did you guys read that story? It's a short story called The Lottery in high school. Did you read it?
No, I think the lottery is from somebody else. It's a different
I thought she
author.
said something about the lottery was part of
Well,
it.
no, she said she the same thing. She doesn't like short stories, I think is what her deal
Oh,
is.
okay. I don't know why. I saw her specifically mention the lottery, and I'm like, have you? Did you said no? That
Mm.
is horrible. It's a horrible story. It's like it's kind of like the Hunger Games.
Okay.
Well, not really. Okay. So it's like just this small town, and every like spring when harvest comes, they pick a name out of a hat, and that person gets stoned to death because they believe it'll bring a fruitful harvest.
Oh,
I'm like, I'm moving. Like, why y'all staying?
right.
Like,
It's
what?
time to go.
Every time there's like a movie like that where there's this town that's like that where they do this, where they take somebody and put them out in the woods for the creature to come get them.
Yeah.
Why do you stay there?
Right, just leave. That's it.
I mean, seriously,
It's like if you take your chances, you're better off trying to run away.
it scared the beje. You know, I'm a scaredy cat, and even that. I mean, it scared the beje. I hated it. Oh. Okay. So, anyways,
No, that's okay. Cajun, there's a Bavarian town in North Georgia, and she kept picturing it. Okay.
oh, that's cute. I want to go to a Bavarian town.
Well, it's one state away, so when things get a little better, you could go up there and
True.
enjoy it.
True.
So far, it's interesting storm. I'm only 40 pages in though.
Cool.
Okay.
A lot of people really liked Kill Creek. Yeah, just
Yeah.
wasn't mine.
Anita hated the lottery in high school too. She had to read it. Nancy said, no, that's Shirley Jackson, but this is Gaskill, which I usually love. I'm enjoying Jackson, but haven't read the lottery yet. It's funny. Kate from Books, an FPS. I guess it's the name of her channel.
I guess FPS things.
Sure.
Yeah. Leanna finished Blue Light for my German prompt. Saw the TV show of the lottery. I agree. I was a kid when that was on TV. I never heard of that one.
I heard of it. I just never read it. I'm not real big on short stories. I'm trying to read the Gothic tales. I think I got through like the first one, and then I haven't read anymore.
Yeah, I'm not a huge short story fan either. It was like part of, I think it was like actually an excerpt, you know, like in your English books, did you guys have like just excerpts of certain books or plays or, you know, it was
don't
like
remember.
that. So what's that?
I said I don't remember.
Oh, it was like that, you know. Same place that they tortured me and made me read Animal Farm, ass buttholes. Almost nightmares forever.
Books and things is K channel. Okay, sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
The autocorrect on these things sometimes is like so ridiculous.
My phone, like if I'm trying to like type like it, all of a sudden it has like IITT and I'm like, I didn't know I pushed 1, 2. Where's this word that you're coming up with? It
like that's the suggestion word for it.
Thank you, Lee. That's what drives me nuts. I mean, it could be like the most obvious choice. Like I spelled drive, but instead of D, I hit the letter next to it. So, you know, it says brive or something. But the suggestion they give me will be like elephant. I'm like, what the? What? What is that?
Right. Or it's a word you've never heard of. I'm like, that's the common word you would come up with instead of have.
Yes.
Like, because for me, it's all the time the mix-up is like have and gave. I get it. The letters are right next to each other. They're both common words. But yeah, like then you said, like elephant will come up. It's like, yes, that's the word I was looking for. Yes.
Right.
The stories are weird, but not gothic. A couple weren't bad.
Huh.
That sounds like you really didn't like it overall. So, I agree about animal.
Yeah, that scared the bejesus out of me.
I've
Just
never
like the
read that
lottery
either.
did.
Me either.
What's that?
I've never read that either.
Yeah.
I only remember
don't.
one book that I read in high school. I mean, I don't think ours made us read a whole lot. I only remember one, and it was The Red Badge of Courage, and I hated that book. So,
yeah. We had a lot of like, but yeah, animals like revolting and taking over. I don't know. It freaked me out. Didn't like it. Nope.
Leanna said Gift of the Magi drove me more mad than the lottery. I didn't read that one either.
Really? That's so interesting.
Autocorrect is frustrating, very frustrating. My phone changes to like it isn't the word. Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
It's just like, I thought the phones were supposed to be getting smarter as they get to know us better. And I'm like, clearly we wouldn't be friends. So stop it.
But yet, like, I can say something random to my husband, and then like my phone will be like showing me an advertisement for
Yes.
like later on I'll have an advertisement for like a Bavarian town in Georgia that whoever mentioned, because and I'm like, you can figure that out, but you can't figure out have from like, I mean, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
Yep. Marcus even said that the other day. I ordered him something off my computer. We talked about it in the bedroom, and then on his computer in the living room, he gets an advertisement for it on his computer. He's like, "Oh, you have supersonic hearing. You can hear me in there as well." But
creepy.
Shauna only needed me for my thumbs to open the cat food cans. She clearly thought she was in shock. She's just using you. You're just living in her world. That's it.
Aren't we all?
You guys want to start a sprint at 15?
Sure. Did you guys so hold on, let me get my thought together before I just ramble. Storm, you said that you're gonna skim Stabbed in the Baklava. No, One Feta in the Grave. Why can't I get that? One Feta in the Grave. Lee, are you currently reading it? Have you finished it?
I finished it.
You did?
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear what you
You'll hear tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean,
I really tried to like it.
I feel like there's just like we're supposed to be doing this as a group, and I feel like there's so many people that like are just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Which, if we can talk it over, and
it's like, I think if it would have been one that was on an audiobook and ebook, that way we could choose how we wanted to, and instead of I do better with like books like that about restaurants. I think I'd be okay if I could listen to it.
Yeah. And our plan totally from here on out is to research before we choose a series and make sure that it kind of has all those different formats, so that people can do it in all those different ways. Because I didn't end up even doing the Golden Girls one this month, and I really wanted to, but I cannot read ebooks fast enough, and I can listen to all the audiobooks at work, and that's how I finish so many. But a lot of the books I've been reading lately haven't been an option, and I don't want to drop any of this stuff. Not that I ever would, but I'm just saying that seems silly to have to drop out of something. It's just, I can't do it with all my time. So my work schedule over the next couple of weeks is going to be so crazy trying to wrap up with people, because some people I'm seeing like twice a week, because I've told them, and like I had some breakdowns of like, and sometimes that happens where people get attachments and, stuff. So, but I'm like, so I'm going to be working crazy hours, which is, I love my job. So I'm not complaining about that. It's just, it takes away even more time. So
it's a little bit stressful when you know that people are, going to miss you or break down because, the attachments they form, and you feel bad. So that kind of wears you down. And
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I've told all of them I'll still be there. I'm just going to,
just something different. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to use Feta for like food and I think something else, but competition. I probably won't count it because if I skim it, I really didn't read it. So.
Well, one thing I was going to say to you, Tiffany, is maybe go back on like the 23rd and look at what books you've read. You might be able to fill a lot more of the Golden Girls every time.
That's true. That's true. I probably need to.
April, do you hear Tiffany in the background?
Tiffany's like, I didn't say anything.
I heard her. I'm so sorry. Goodbye. She always says it. She's like, I don't know when you're live, when you're not. You're on a sprint. You're doing something. I'm like, okay, I don't know when you're
doing Fridays at like, we've been doing Fridays at the same time for a long time. You think she'd know by now?
I'm supposed to know her workout, teaching, and gym schedule. So reading schedule. But I was going to say you might have. I'm sorry, I know you were talking. Might have a lot of the prompts done anyway. So
you're probably right, because once I decided that it was just going to be taking on too much, I didn't really look at them. But there's been even times where books that I started because of author interviews or something like that end up working for the Wonkathon and not even knowing it. Like One Feta in the Grave, I switched it over to competition because I didn't have anything for that filled in yet. And it worked. And then I moved one of my other million culinaries into food, so.
Well, yeah, you're doing the pancake house. I mean, that's food right there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Bev. Yeah, that is it. You don't even like, I was gonna read one book and it was supposed to be like to have 2 authors. And I'm like, I really don't feel like reading this book right now. Whispering Pines is by 2 authors. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. It just worked out. So probably could make it work out. Nancy, I'm the only one that likes these characters. I'm going to finish no matter what, especially since there's a Christmas one. I plan to finish too, Nancy.
I like it, Nancy.
Yeah, I say, the ones that are really enjoying it, they should just keep going. And then those that don't like it, we'll just listen to you guys talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. No series is going to be for everyone.
Right.
I think we've all agreed upon that. I mean, everybody likes, different things, even the same people. There's some such series that Storm and I agree on, and then there's some series that she might love that I don't, and vice versa. And
Timekeeper Nancy down there is telling us.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy. And I was actually going like, why is she putting 616? What does that mean?
Yes.
I'm sorry. How long you guys want to do for? Thank you, Nancy. I'm sorry. You guys can call the time, whichever you want to do.
Half an hour.
Half hour. So we'll come back at 45.
That's fine by me.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Tiffany.
I picked the Ghost. Happy reading.
Ghost. I was playing with Hugo before. I lost all the times. I didn't get any of them. So.
All right, guys. We'll see you back here in a minute.
You have to say happy reading.
I did. Happy reading, everyone.
How'd you guys do?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Mine was really good. I didn't get reading done the whole time because I was fussing with Kairu, but I got a good chunk done. So, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, I understand where people are coming from, but I'd read the first one and then I think I'd read this one. I'd never read 2, but I think 3 is a reread for me. I need to double check, but sometimes it's hard to remember, but
Yeah.
I know I'd read one other in the series, but anyways. So mine's going well.
But you, Storm?
I did pretty good. I got like 6% done. It's right in the middle of kind of a little creepy part.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm at 97%, so I'm like at that waiting for that little twist to just happen to me right now.
Yeah,
97?
I was like, I can't wait for you to get to the end so you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh, you're so close to the end.
Yeah, I think it's like 18, 19 minutes left. So
I gave that book like 5 stars. It was my favorite spooky middle grade from last year.
Just about there. Nancy said I have a problem with the first one, but I enjoyed 2 and 3. Okay, so even though I'm going to continue on at least until the Christmas one, if only because I can cross a series off my SAS list. With only 2 books left, I'm going to do it. So,
gotcha.
So with that, where are we at?
Hello, Bev.
Hi. Character just asked if the town is becoming Cabot Cove.
That's funny.
Hey, Susan. How are you?
Hey, Susan. Susan, how is your boyfriend? Susan's boyfriend was, unless I got the wrong Susan, Susan H's boyfriend was in ICU with COVID. He had gotten out of ICU, but he was still in the hospital.
Ooh.
Again, it is the Susan H that's on my YouTube channel. So I'm assuming it's her. If it's not, I apologize.
Okay. Beth said, so happy my horrible headache went away
good.
before the live. I was going on almost 24 hours with it. Anyway, thanks to the correction medication, I got 3 chapters of Mrs. Morris and the Witch. Nice.
Yay.
Oh, good. I'm glad your headache's gone.
Yeah,
That's
I'm glad you're feeling better. Cajun read 12%.
Naturally. It's like Cajuns.
It's medium in between there.
Yeah.
And Leanna, 21 pages. Nice.
Nice, Leanna.
With my book, I think the creepiest and the most horrible thing about the book right now is the fact that they moved into a hoarder's house and it hasn't been cleaned. And just the describing and stuff, and it's like,
yeah.
Wow. I remember watching that show, and it was like, I remember this one time I watched it was like it was somebody in, I think, the UK somewhere, and he like literally had to walk up crawl up a stack of newspapers, slide down into the other room, slide in just like this little bit of room he had to get to the next room. And then he had to like eat his dinner on his toilet bowl and like wash his dishes in the bathroom sink. At what point do you just say to yourself, throw these old newspapers out and like clean off a chair I can sit on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things the show doesn't do well is like really emphasize how much of a mental health issue it is.
Oh yeah.
To like when you talk to someone who is like I mean 100, like honestly a hoarder, like the definite, it's like they can't do it because they feel like it's, going to affect their life in a negative way, or they can't get rid of something. It's not just like, oh, I want, don't want to clean I think they just don't emphasize enough how much of more of a mental health issue it is than just, I like things in my house and I don't mind the clutter.
No, I definitely don't think it's that. I definitely don't think they like it that way. It's that they're burdened down by it, but they can't get rid of it. They can't.
No, they cannot.
We had a friend whose mom was that way. I mean, in the 90s, she was still holding on to mail from the 80s from companies that closed. And like, we were like so nicely trying to tell her, they're never going to come after you for this. You know, like you can throw it away now. It's okay. Or like let's just put it in a box somewhere instead of on the stairs upstairs. Like we were just trying to like even just help her organize it. She couldn't. She just couldn't do it.
When my grandma died and I moved into her trailer, I was like, well, our family comes by pack rat naturally. We're not like huge hoarders, but like we do keep things that we think we're going to use, but that we never use, but it just sits there. But we think we're going to use it at one point, so we keep it.
Yeah, I mean, years ago, I had a client. It was actually the client's mom who was a hoarder and agoraphobic and some other things, and she like wouldn't, as an example, like there was so much dog hair in the house, and she collected it because she thought that if she swept it up, that was like taking a piece of her dog away. I mean, it wasn't even like she was gonna thought she was gonna get in trouble, mail. I mean, it was just like she was like, but that's like taking a piece of his life, like, or shortening his life, or I mean, it was and almost like panic attack if it was brought up, like,
oh yeah,
it's just.
Yeah, I mean, you see these people where it's just like, no, this is a lamp from my great grandmother, and I can't throw it out because like it would be like acting like she didn't matter, and it's like you can't tell them otherwise. I get that.
Yeah, when I cleaned out my grandma's house, like I found mail from like the 1970s, and I was like, oh my gosh. See, like, I mean, they kept everything. It was in boxes, but it was like all their like mail, and it was like, oh my goodness. So my dad's the same way though. He's like really big pack rat. He's got so much junk in his like outbuilding, but they're all good things and they're important. And one day I might use them, and I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Susan said, yes, you got the correct Susan. He's in rehab learning how to walk again, some memory issues.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad that, he's out of the woods of the ICU. I know it sounds like he's got a long way to go, but we're thinking of him. And
I have a friend who he just got out of the hospital. He's in the rehab after COVID too. He was a big jock too. Like, and it's just weird to see him because like probably the medication and just being in the bed for like he's been in the hospital since like June and everything, and he just looks totally different. It's weird.
Yeah, my landlord's upstairs. They the one of them got it, and like just see his face and like everything about him like looks so drawn, and he looks completely different. He used to walk the dogs 4 or 5 times a day. Like now they just let them out in the backyard, and like you could definitely see like the deterioration. And they are older. They're in their 80s, but
that's so sad.
And it was funny because he was yelling at the other one. So the other one has smoked his whole life and just recently stopped smoking. And he never did. He was like the super healthy, like I only eat like organic. And the other one, Marty, was saying to him, he's like, see, he's like, and I've smoked all this time, and that's because I've clouded up my lungs. And like that was like his like theory why it didn't bother him.
Oh my goodness.
And then the other one, Joe, was like, oh, shut up. You should have gotten it, like because of the lung thing. I mean, they were joking with each other, but it was just like, well, I'm glad that you can laugh about it because, it's a serious situation, but
yeah.
Oh, Leanna, I guess she needed to refresh. Thought she didn't realize.
Gotcha. Cairo, come here, buddy.
How are your guys' diets coming along?
Good. Man, it's tough. It's not even. It's not what you have to eat, at least for me. I mean, I would like to have things I can't have. Don't get me wrong, but staying on it's not that. It's like when I get home especially on like Thursday nights is a prime example. I get home at 8:45, almost 9:00.
Wow.
Still haven't eaten, and there's nothing you can just grab. Right. And I had a salad every night this week, and last night it was all I could do to choke it down. And I love salad, but I was just tired of it. I was like, oh, but I mean. And I had made it something for the first 2 days, but I don't think you can make something for 5 days in a row. It just doesn't. I don't like to eat leftovers that far out.
Right. Can you make stuff and like freeze it?
I'm probably gonna try to do some of that this week and freeze up some
No, at
stuff.
least for like the days that you're gonna be like really late. That way you can like take it out in the morning so it can thaw out and you can just like throw it in there and be like, okay.
Yeah. Because I've been watching some videos where people like freeze maybe like the tomato sauce in like silicone cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a perfect,
Yeah.
to dump on real quick and unthaw. So I might. How about you?
It's okay. It's kind of hit and miss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's always a struggle. Nancy said she just started on her food plan again today, hoping to stick to it. Yes.
And Nancy, you're doing gluten-free, right?
Low carb, gluten free breads and pastas, but I rationalized that eating out would be more expensive, and it would be. It would be.
Yeah. I can't believe how much groceries have gone up.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
insane.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost making it worth it though to make a lot more of your own foods than buying a lot of the convenience prepackaged. Because I mean, I do watch videos of people talking about, oh, we're out of food in our grocery store, but they'll also be like pointing out, yeah, it's the convenient food type of things that are out, not the fresh produce, not the things where you can make something yourself. So
Yeah.
I mean,
The other day we went to Walmart and it was like, where's all the lunch meat? Like the whole thing was like completely gone.
yeah.
And I was like, maybe they're just like taking it down to like clean it because like next time I looked, it's like it was all back. But I was like, maybe they were just cleaning it. But it was just weird because I've never seen it all gone before.
Yeah, I see people talking, like showing videos in the stores and like the shelves are completely wiped out. And I'm like, I've not ever seen it like where it's completely wiped out for aisles and aisles and aisles. Like I've never seen that.
We have like sections that are like wiped out. That's why I think maybe sometimes they've moved things to clean or something.
Mm-hmm.
And people are panicking because they see it's empty, but I think maybe they're just cleaning. But I've never seen the vegetables cleared out. So
Right.
Exactly.
We're probably safe there, Storm.
You could always stock up on vegetables.
And I put in my order. We pick up our order on Saturdays. Last week we had to do it on Sunday, but only because we had stuff going on. And it says they're out of oranges again. And everything I wanted to bake had oranges in it. I was like, you're killing me. Smalls. Sorry.
Come on, somebody there in Florida can't get you some oranges off their tree.
No kidding.
You know what I mean? It's like they're known for. Come on.
Right.
Nancy said gluten-free and low carb are expensive too, Tiffany. I feel you.
They are, Nancy, for sure.
I've said, yeah, my Walmart was wiped out in the frozen and fridge sections. Yeah, that's what I've seen most people showing, like convenient food type of things like that. You know. Melanie, I've seen a big increase in our grocery bill. Our utility bills are also going up. Yep.
What we were talking about the other day, it's like people are buying like all these frozen foods and stuff, probably to put back in the fridge. But what if the electric goes out? It's not going to help any.
Exactly.
Have all this food.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah, it's certainly gone up. And our gas has gone up tremendously here.
Yeah.
What does gas buy you guys? Just curious. I know that's the only thing in New Jersey that's usually cheaper. So
right now it's $3.15.
Okay. I think our lowest one near me is like $3.05.
Yeah. But normally our gas sits, well, I mean, it has been for the last couple years right around $2.80 to $2.90 something. It hadn't gone over $3. And then like it jumped from like $2.95, whatever it was, to $3.15, and it's just kind of sat there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yours is worse than mine. Yeah. And it's still, we thought it was high, so but it's $2.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and some places are $2.84.
And I went to mine. I think it was a couple weeks ago when I went to Staten Island. Here it was like $3.10. There it was like $3.76. I'm like, no.
They do have a little small like place. And we're hoping that they're trying to undercut everybody else. You can kind of see because they're small and stuff. So I'm like, you'll get a lot more business that way. But like they're $2.79 right now, like where everybody else was like $2.99 and stuff like that. So
There you go.
the only thing is they run out a lot because a lot of times they'll be like only premium. They only have premium and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. That one I've seen a couple times too. They've said $3.20-ish in Connecticut. Nancy $2.99 at Sam's. Yeah, I don't go to BJ's or Sam's to know what theirs are, but I'm sure they're cheaper there.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have a Sam's near you or, Costco or something like that, that's great. I just don't have one that's near me enough that it matters, I mean, I would waste more getting there.
We have the Walmart that have Murphy's, and it's the one that's like, it's like $2.84. But you can go inside and get like a gift card and put we always put like $10 or whatever we need for gas and go out there and you get it for 3 cents cheaper than what it is. So,
Exactly.
And it helps a little bit.
Exactly. I forget where I just saw somewhere. I don't even remember where, but they were saying like, oh, if you use the app, and I don't know how you would use the app, you would save like 15 cents a gallon. I'm like, that's a big difference.
Huge. Yeah, that's a big difference.
That's a big difference. And I mean, I don't know how you would do it because I think Jersey's like the only place left. I think there might be one other state where you don't pump your gas. It's illegal to pump your own gas. So
I did not know that. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Really nice in the wintertime though, but it's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, so that's actually like a thing here that most women have no idea how to pump gas here.
Mm.
Like they're like, what do I do? So,
well, yeah. I mean, if you've never done it,
literally, that's why like some people think it's like so unusual, like that my mother-in-law doesn't have a driver's license and never knew how to drive. I'm like, she grew up in the Bronx. They use public transportation. She would have no reason to know how to drive a car. Like it just never came up. And to have a car in the Bronx would be so annoying for parking and all that. I'm like, I don't think that's that unusual.
Well, there's a lot. My aunt never learned to drive or never had a driver's license. Even around here, she went from when she was like a teen that she got married, and then her husband drove her around, or her kids drove her around. She never learned how to drive.
Yeah, just if it doesn't fit in, it doesn't fit in. And a couple years ago, Italy got up to $7 a gallon for gas.
Wowzers!
Wow.
Wowzers, man.
And was that even a gallon or was that by a liter? Because I know that's like the difference in Canada, because whenever we go there, I'm like, I don't know how much gas to get. I can't figure this out.
Yeah.
Metric system over here. I'm like,
oh,
Anita, when I first moved here, I got to pump gas and the guy took the nozzle out of my hand and said, no, I'll do it, and told me that it was illegal. Where's that? Where are you at, Anita? Are you in New Jersey? I know there's like one other state. I'm not sure.
That's so interesting. I cannot believe that. Oh, did I tell you my monster joke the other day?
I
think I might have.
I think you did, but I don't remember it now.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I have it different.
The kid said you were so corny for that.
The kids always tell me that. Yeah.
It's because she tells like the jokes that you get inside the bubble gum or something, and you're like,
yeah. I'll tell a different one then. Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in his field. Oh, goodness gracious.
Why is it illegal to pump your own gas? I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's right, Anita. You are in Middlesex County. That's right.
It's like one of those little quirky, probably laws that they had, that they still use.
I don't know why.
It's been on the books forever. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, yes, it employs people, but sometimes you're waiting there and it's like, okay, I could have gotten out and done this already. Like, come on. So, but yes, like you said, Storm, it is convenient and nice in the winter. Like I can't get out and do it. I just have to wait.
But if you're like in super big hurry because you left late and you're getting late for work and you're like, come on, I need to get the gas. Let's go.
Yeah, or you pull up at like a Wawa or a Quick Check or whatever, And yeah, there's attendants doing it, but when every bay is full and there's people waiting, it's like, come on, like you're taking forever. You're chit-chatting, get over here and it's like, okay, my gas is up. Come on, come take it out.
So let me ask you, do you get out of the car and pay at the pump and then get back in?
No. They'll come over to your window and take your debit card or your cash.
Really? So you don't get out of the car at all?
Mm-mm. Wow.
So they run your credit card?
Yeah, right. Yeah, they just, like you would just go do it yourself right there. They do it for you. Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Cool.
It's always been that way. I don't know why.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Nita said
we stay in the car. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look up what states can't pump their own gas just because I want to know.
2 of them, I think, but I could be wrong.
Well, it ain't us, that's for sure.
Wow. I put what states can't, and the first thing that popped up is pump your own gas. They either know what we're talking about, stop listening to me, or that's a highly looked up thing. Oh, okay. In the United States, gas jockeys were often tipped for their services, but this is now rare as full service stations are uncommon, except in the states of New Jersey and Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And then there's random towns. So it says New Jersey and Oregon as state, except for the states, New Jersey and Oregon. And then it says the town of Weymouth, Massachusetts, and the town of Huntington, New York. Is that what they're called? That's a horrible name.
Yes.
Gas jockey. Yeah. I don't know. I think they ever
we'll just call them gas attendants.
Yeah, attendants. Yeah, that's what I've always thought of them as.
We used to have, I remember when I was little, we used to have a station. It was a small station. I used to go there, and the old guy there, he would come out and they would pump our gas and everything. It was one of those full service ones, and he always gave me a Yahoo.
I remember when I was a kid, there was a few of them where I grew up, but it wasn't.
I know what it is. Yeah.
Oh, the chocolate milk?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Yahoo is a chocolate drink. Yeah.
I got it now. I was like, wait, is that what I think it is? Yes. Yeah. Pumping gas is considered a fire hazard. I could see that.
Oh, yeah, because like you see people like smoking out there pumping the gas, and it's like, you dumb idiots.
Right. Yes. Right. You're holding an entire tube with a tank underground full of gas. Should you really be smoking a cigarette right now?
I mean, you're not even supposed to keep your car running whenever you're
right. Right.
That's occasions that I get so irritated with stories about people's cars being stolen when they pump gas. Why leave it unlocked and the keys in it? I lock it and put the keys in my pocket. Yeah, it's Yoo-hoo here, Anita. That's what she means. Yeah.
Yeah, Yoo-hoo. Yeah, something like that.
I just figured you guys probably said it differently. That was it. Well, this is what I see when people will go into this, like, so they'll pull up, they'll be getting their gas pumped with the car on, the radio blasting, the engine running, and they go inside. I'm like, do you think the gas attendant over here is going to risk his life to protect your car if somebody comes up and steals it?
Did you, I'm sure you guys saw it because I'm sure it was like a national thing, but like so whenever that oil company got hacked by like the Russian people,
Exxon, is that it or something?
A few months ago, it was just a few months ago, and they got hacked by a terrorist organization from Russia or something like that, and so it affected Florida. It didn't really affect Florida; they just thought it did because we actually get our fuel in from cargo ships, but people were like obsessed with it in Florida. I don't know. It's Florida. So yeah, I mean, you never know what you're going to get here. Like every day I go to work and I'm like, that's different. Like when you see certain things, I'm like, oh, only in Florida do you see, but people were putting gas, and I'm not playing. You probably saw this on the news, but no joke. People were putting gas in like Walmart bags. It's a plastic sack. I mean, and you're putting liquid in and then put it in their trunk. And I was like, I'm like, I got to tell you, I would never, this is even horrible to say. I'd never wish harm upon someone. I don't wish harm upon them, but I feel like Darwin's got to take the wheel here
yeah, aren't you guys like here we're only allowed to use the red gas containers to go to the pump.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
because other things aren't even gas safe. I mean,
Right.
gasoline can eat, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, only those
Walmart
red
bags
containers
have
can eat-
holes in them to begin
Yes.
with.
Yeah, it's not like a high quality bag here.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. And I mean, they're not meant to hold liquid, period. I mean, it was the and I mean, putting it in
Wow.
their trunk, I was like, that's gonna end well.
Like, who even thinks that that's okay to do? Like, or like, yeah, this is a good plan.
I mean,
don't
if you
know.
think you need extra gas, go to Walmart and buy a can.
Right.
I mean, but I'm just thinking like Darwin Awards, here we come. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but oh
No.
boy.
I agree.
I'm like, cars are going to be exploding in Walmart because their trunk had gasoline in it. And, you know, the car next to him flicked a cigarette, and here we go.
Exactly.
Ready for another reading sprint?
I was just gonna say, you guys want to do one at 15?
Yeah.
Or we could start now, whatever you guys want to do.
Whatever.
I'm good with I
Oh my god,
I'm
you guys need to make a decision. Come on.
Right now, it's a nice number there.
Right now.
right now.
How long is that?
Do a half
30
hour.
minutes. 30 minutes, Storm. Just go 30 minutes.
30
Let's-
minutes.
30 minutes.
Perfect. All right. Tiffany, I'm waiting on you.
Oh, happy reading, everyone. I thought I was waiting on you to say something.
No, I feel weird if you don't say it. we'll share my sprints. Got 1 minute left. Go ahead. So I'm going to let you know, Storm, when you said a little twist at the end, I didn't literally think you meant the last words were the twist. The last words.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like waiting. He's about to say something, and it's like, and this concludes. I'm like, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? Like, he didn't even say it.
Wow. Did you start something else?
No, I like updated my Goodreads and stuff during
Gotcha.
that time and just sat for a moment, like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wrapping
Like,
your brain around everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because there's actually a little twist right before that with her dad, and then this other twist comes, and then it ends, and it's like, wait, what? Like, I thought no, you need to say what you were about to say. I can't. So.
Oh my. Oh, Storm, you're on mute.
Yeah.
I always forget that thing. I do think it was like one of the spookiest middle grades that I read.
Like it was said it was like Stranger Things meets X-Files. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah.
Robin, it's so good to see you.
Listen,
I miss you.
Cozy's here.
Oh yeah, I read that. And that sounds delicious. And I was also thinking the other day when you guys were talking about soups, if you like split pea, that is a way to have, like, when the pea's split, it becomes really creamy without ever having to add anything like that. Like, I just cook it with broth and carrots and potatoes, but obviously when it splits. So that's a good one. Or I also have a couple recipes that have potatoes in them, and they're just basic like chicken noodle or whatever. Yeah. But then I'll use the immersion blender and just kind of puree the potatoes a little bit, and it makes it creamier. Just kind of creamy. Mm-hmm. So there's just some ideas.
Great. Miss you too, Robin. It's been way too long since you
been
too long. Susan reading Death of La Fenice by Donna Leo, 35%.
Wow, nice.
Cajun, 13%. Leanna, 22%. That is The Whispering Pines. It's a middle grade horror thriller by Heidi Lang and Katie Bartkowski. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was only like at a few parts I thought it dragged, but I really, really loved it. I don't even want to say drag. It just like went on a little too. Like I was like, come on, let's get there.
Yeah, like I said, I gave it 5 stars. I really liked it. But yeah,
it was great. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, I go to look on Hoopla to see if book 2 is out, and it's not there.
Oh, that's the worst.
Mm-hmm. No, and it's not even like I looked on a couple of my libraries to see, and I recommended it, but they don't have it. So I'm like,
yeah, I'm like, Anita, 15% in my book. Okay.
Cozy, I love split pea.
I don't.
I'm going to work on the soup. All right, we'll talk to you later. Hopefully.
Bye, Cozy.
Anita loves split pea soup.
I do too. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a big pea person. I like peas right out of the garden. Mm-hmm. And like frozen peas I can handle, but like if they're in the can or in a soup or in it, I don't like.
Yeah, I love them.
I'm a pea. I love peas.
I like creamed peas too.
Never had that.
It's just like my mom used to like take the actual can with the juice still in it, and then she would mix in with the juice a little bit of flour and a little bit of sugar, and so it was almost like a gravy within the peas.
I could see that.
It was good.
Yeah, I believe it. It was like ew. Melanie read too many pages.
It was delicious.
I don't like peas from the can. I can't handle them. I don't know why, but
I do like them the other way you were saying too. Although I actually don't care for frozen peas just because of the way they thaw. I don't know. They don't feel right. The texture.
Yeah, see, that's like the in the can. I don't like the mushy texture or something. I don't know. It just.
Gotcha.
I guess I like it in any form. Mushy, not mushy.
Yeah.
fresh.
But I like garden and all that too.
But it's like broccoli. I like broccoli when it's crunchy, but if it gets too mushy, I don't like
I
it.
don't like it.
It's, just mushy. I guess I don't like mushy
You like them, you like
vegetables.
more fresh.
Yeah.
I've seen
He's like,
90%
Brad,
broccoli.
he likes his vegetables where he can eat them really good and stuff. And a lot of times he likes them kind of mushy, and I'm like,
Yeah. How are you if you guys both eat bacon, or anybody in the chat, how do you like it? Floppy, crispy?
crispy.
You know, I think I'm more towards the floppy. Like I don't want it floppy, but people that order extra crispy, I don't get you people. I'm
I
sorry.
want mine not
love
burnt,
you.
but almost.
I
Me
love
too.
you as
I'm a
another
storm.
human being, but I don't trust you. I'm just saying. It's like people that don't eat cheese. I'm just telling you the truth.
My aunt, I swear, you could just like barely put it in and flip it over and stuff, and she's ready for it. She's
Oh,
like
no.
floppy bacon, like super floppy, and I'm like, oh.
No.
Yeah,
Cajun
it's
blonde is
delicious.
similar.
Those peas. Mm-hmm.
We got a crispy, floppy, medium.
I think that's probably where I'm at.
See, I can handle medium, but I would like mine probably a step above.
Yeah.
Is that how you prefer yours too, Lee? Crispy?
I like mine probably 2 notches down from burnt. Yes.
Yeah, see, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want to like chew away on a chunk of fat there. I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't like floppy like that. Like
Yeah.
you're talking. Yeah, no. I want it, but when it gets like the people that like my grandmother orders it extra crispy, and I'm like, here's a piece of cardboard. Why don't you get started on that?
I have a friend that says burn it.
Yeah. Well, that's like when we go out with my one cousin, and like we'll always like if we get steak, she's like, just let it touch the pan and then hand it back to me. Where me and my sister are like, start a fire in the back, let it burn the whole entire time, char it. Everybody's different. Like I can't see
absolutely.
I can't see a bit of pink.
Yeah, I'm not big on a big steak person, but yeah, I can't do the pink. It has to have,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not a big steak person either, but I also have friends that are the same way, Lee. They're like anytime you go to a restaurant with them where they're ordering steak, they will tell them they only want it to get to the temperature that their restaurant's required to do by law, and that is it.
Yep.
No more than that. And there's been a couple times, no joke, we were at maybe like a Longhorn. I think it was Longhorn. And I thought they brought them the steak raw. I thought they were trying to show them and ask them if this is the cut the meat they want. Nope. This was their finished product. And it was like,
sounds like Leanna and Cajun's stepmother here, newly declared dead. Yes, yeah. My cousin will actually say, if it's still mooing, bring it to the table. Ugh, no.
That's how my cousin is, and he likes to eat. I think they call it steak tartare, where it's like hamburger meat raw or whatever it is. And
yeah,
my aunt would be stirring up the hamburger, getting ready to make patties or whatever, and he'd just come in there and just grab it.
My stepmother used to do that. Yes. Yeah. I can't. Nancy's crispy. Yeah. Another thing, this is like not related, but like related to food, is whenever my mother-in-law would like finish cooking something in the pan, she would automatically put soap in it, but she still left it on the stove so the warmth of the pan could like start permeating with the soup. I mean, with the soap. And my father-in-law would always come along with a big hunk of bread, sweep it through, even though she's told him a million times, don't do it. And he'd like really, he's going to get up every little bit of it. And like, he would eat it. She's like, you're going to die from that one day. Like all of the like
gross
the bread he's eaten, like soaked in soap.
Oh my goodness. You have to see like the soap suds, I would assume.
How many times does it would only take me one time to learn my lesson though.
Well, and plus like
the taste, think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I've tasted soap before. We probably all have at some point in our life, even if it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
It's not something you want in your mouth, I assume. I mean, I don't know. I guess everybody's different. There you go. But
and I'm like, the disgusting part is you still eat the bread even after you know. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's funny.
Well, that's, yeah,
I
that
feel
can't be good over time.
I feel bad for my main character in my book because she's having all these problems with a ghost or whatever it is. She's not really quite sure what's going on, but her parents won't believe her because she's like a drama queen. And I guess they're in Florida, by the way. They moved to Florida. And I guess she was a real big drama queen and into drama and stuff where they used to come from. And this is supposed to be her do-over. And so, but she's trying not to be dramatic, but every time she tries to tell them, look, this is happening, and they're like, I don't know how many
Oh,
times
boy,
I told you not to be. And she's like, what is
It's
I was like, I feel bad for her.
happening. Exactly. Leanna, my mom washed my mouth off. I'm like, oh yeah, I would. Believe me, my potty mouth hasn't stopped no matter how many bars of soap I've eaten over time. So, I mean, nowadays you probably can't do that, but back then, I hear somebody's dog chain going in the background.
It's is that he's running to see Kevin walked in the door, and so he's running on the hardwood, and it's his dog collar.
That's what you hear in my room, like in my videos. You can hear this like click, 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 and it's like resin on the floor.
Yeah.
I watched this one lady who does like homesteading, home preserving food, and her dog. She has 3 dogs, and they're just like click, 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 clicking all around her the whole time.
I love those channels. I'm so obsessed with the homesteading channels.
Mm-hmm. You should watch this one. Her name is Acre Homestead.
I do.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, I love her.
Yes, I like her, and I like oh gosh. There's a couple I have like I'm subscribed to a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
I like there's one called Simply Living Alaska or Simply Alaska Living.
Yeah, we talked about them before when they had to do the whole plane ride to get their food, and then it comes back on a barge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they go with like $10,000 to buy like their food for the year, and
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, the other one I really, really like is Homesteading Family. That's what it's called. And I like Acre Homesteading. And then there's several others, but I really like them. They're an entire family that does it. I like them.
Okay. I'll have to look them up. Yeah, I always watch videos like that.
I know. I think my husband's getting worried the more I watch them.
You're going to want to start. Yeah, I used to watch a bunch of them, like homesteaders, prepper type. So be all different type of stuff like that.
Before you know it, she's going to have a chicken in the yard.
I know. I was like, the other day I was looking up farmland, and Kevin's like, oh, Lord. He's like, do you know what that really entails? I was like, chickens. He's like, you know what else it entails? I'm like, peach trees. He's like, you're not understanding. He's like,
no work you're not going to want to do. That's me too. It's like, oh, like in theory it sounds great, but in work it doesn't. Even like when I hear Storm talking about like getting the wood and bringing the wood inside, I'm like, oh, it sounds like a lot. Like, I don't even want to do
a lot on the back.
Right.
Last year I got the wood. I was getting the wood in and stuff, and I stack it up on our porch. Like the guy brings it and he dumps it out, and then I stack it on the porch so we don't have to go as far. And I would just swing my arm, and I would pick up a piece and just swing it, and I'd pick up a piece and pop it up there. And my arm started hurting like right in here. And I was like, man, I don't know why it wouldn't go away. And like for several months, it was just, I couldn't hardly grab it. Like I couldn't pick anything up. Hardly it would hurt. And I went to the doctor, and yeah, he's like, you've pretty much got tennis elbow from doing the wood tossing, because it was the same motion.
Yeah.
Like tennis elbow. And so I had to get a strap to put around my arm. So eventually it went away, but man, it was there for probably 6 months. It was hurting.
Yeah. Then when summer came, it eased up a bit for a while. And
so now I've like, well, at least I've got that now. I can put the strap on before I stack the wood. So maybe it won't be so bad.
There you go.
Simple Living Alaska.
Yeah,
that's what it is, Melanie. I also like the Elliott Homestead.
I watch Elliott Homestead, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one, I was looking at my channels, the Seasonal Homestead. I really like them too.
I've never heard of any of those.
They're really fun to watch.
Yeah.
so that when I get my own, no, Kevin's looking at me. Never mind. We didn't talk about this.
First rule of Fight Club. Yeah, I like. I just like watching that. I think.
Yeah,
I
I do too.
at home too. Does a lot of like gourmet cooking and stuff like that too. So I don't know.
When I was young, we used to have a cellar. My grandma, she used to can everything, and we used to have a cellar full of all kinds of canned goods.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would love to have that again, but that's just so much work.
Yeah,
First of all, I'm not very good gardener. We've dissociated. I've tried. I'm a very good gardener.
And I mean, I remember when and I know I've said this before, I grew up like in an Amish community. And I remember like when my grandmother was much younger, not the grandmother that I always talk about. This grandmother is my mom's mom. She's deceased, but they would have like canning parties. Like it was like a hen house to can, or they would do the same thing with quilts, or you know what I mean? All of those things. And it was like a huge, like kind of outing for them, not outing, be at somebody's house, but like, yeah, it was like a big gossip festival, and they canned and canned, and then everybody took some, and they would. I remember those. They were a lot of fun. I mean, we weren't allowed to join, but we'd be in the other room listening, sort of thing.
Well, we were allowed to help dig the dirt for the garden. That was definitely where we got put to work. And then after a few years, they didn't let me go out and pick any more vegetables because they didn't come back in the house. I'd be like, oh no, there was only one green bean out there, meanwhile I ate them all. But
that's funny.
My grandma would get mad because I would go and pick rhubarb off of her and stuff, and I'd peel it and I'd be eating it. Stay out of my rhubarb.
That's funny.
They have a plan and you're like, nope, gonna ruin it.
Yeah, well, because she used that for she made like strawberry rhubarb pies and
that's the best.
Yeah.
That's the only way I've ever had rhubarb. I don't know if I've ever had. Well, I've had rhubarb crisp, but other than that, I think I've only had strawberry rhubarb. I don't know if I definitely have never had fresh rhubarb.
No, I've only had it in pie form before. That's been it.
Yeah.
That's been it.
I used to just peel it because the peeling's really hard. You have to peel it off and eat it, and it's like really super sour.
I would imagine it is.
Yeah.
But I love sour stuff though. So
do you? Mm.
Yeah, I'm one of those that just like peels a lemon and eats the lemon, so.
I always used to eat like lemons like that. Like, oh, just gonna bite it, eat it.
Yeah, I ate so many whenever I was younger that now if I eat like a half of one, it gives me heartburn.
I was gonna say, I feel like for a while my teeth were like super sensitive if I ate anything citrus from that, so I had to like stop doing that and calm it down.
Well, yeah, because it'll like eat the enamel off your teeth and stuff.
Yeah. Anita, I was put in a blueberry field when I was 4 with a basket. I ate them all. I was wearing a white outfit that turned blue.
It's like Violet from the Willy Wonka. That's hilarious.
They're like, where did all your blueberries go? And you've got it's blueberry all over.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You see all those videos of little kids like that.
Yeah.
I know they're the best. It's not a kid, but the best one I saw. I just think this is so funny. This guy comes in and there's trash all over the floor. And he's like, when you have 3 dogs, how do you figure out which dog got into the trash? And he shows the first one. They're all 3 sitting there. All 3 sitting lined up, sitting down right next to each other. And he shows the first one. He looks as innocent as can be, and he's looking around. So he goes to the next one. That they're all like I said, sitting right next to each other. He shows the second one. He's looking innocent, all Third one looking all innocent, but he's got the trash can lid stuck on his head, and it's still swinging. It's like one of those that would swing. It's stuck on his head, but he just looks as innocent like can be. Like, oh, it's clearly not me, Dad. It's so funny.
That's funny. I'm just curious. Have either of you or any of you guys read your Halloween book or fall book yet?
I just finished it yesterday. I read the 3rd Cider Shop Rules. It was so good. It was 5 stars. I think I gave the first 2 4, but this one was the best of the series for me.
Nice.
I really liked it. Yeah, it was good. The brother cracked me up. I really liked the brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Really
you,
liked it.
Storm? Did you get yours done?
No,
No.
gonna have to add it to the rotation of all the other books that I'm in the middle of.
I was gonna say you also have the One Feta in the Grave you're gonna skim through, and then your fall
When
book.
you say you're going to skim through, you know it's like tomorrow at noon, right? It's going to be a fast skim. I'm just saying. Well, do you know what you're reading, Storm, for your fall pick?
Yeah, A Spell of Trouble or something like that.
Oh, is that Esme Edison?
No, it's the other one, the one that you thought you would like, but you thought it would be too scary.
Oh yeah, let me
Mhm.
know because it does sound fun, but then it said something about dark magic and it took a turn. Like
Lena, is it Lena Ann Dobbs or something like that? Leanne Dobbs.
Leanne
Leanne
Dobbs,
Dobbs,
I
yes,
think.
yes.
Yeah. Do you know Storm or Lee? Have you read yours?
Yes, I read Thanksgiving Past by Kathy Daly. That was the number 2 in the Gooseberry Bay,
Awesome.
which I loved. Melanie, not yet. Anita, I really don't know what to read for fall. I have too many books.
I feel you, Anita.
Cajun will read hers next week. Leanna, oh, Witch Hunt is for Halloween. Okay.
I'm really happy though because it's on Kindle Unlimited and it has audio.
Nice.
I like it when my Unlimited has the audiobook too.
Yes.
That is nice. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you everyone who sent me. I think I messaged most people about some small towns. And thank you everybody who sent some suggestions to me. I think I'm gonna do a video this week or next week. Well, I know I'm going to. I just don't know if it's gonna be Sunday or next week. Like if you're a fan of Gilmore Girls or if you're a fan of Heart of Dixie or something that has a town like that, you might be a cozy mystery fan. Here's some to try.
There you go. That'll be a
Because
cool
I feel
idea.
like a lot of people don't know even what cozy mysteries are. I mean, I think a lot of people do, but I think it's a very niche, sort of thing. I don't think even a lot of mystery fans really know.
Well, I find it funny when people say, well, like, I want a cozy mystery, but like without the mystery. I'm like, that's called Hallmark Channel. Like that's, there's plenty of, so you like, maybe you're overthinking what it is because you just want the cozy town part with like the cool.
You want Debbie Maycomer.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Read Cedar Cove. There you go. Yeah. Although Cedar Cove has a mystery that does start sort of in the series along the way, like those bones or whatever. Anyways, but yes, yeah, I just think a lot of people don't know about cozy mysteries, or if you're a fan of the Hallmark mystery movie channel and you like to read, you need to try a cozy because you would clearly enjoy that. Cajun, yes, that's on my list. The Celebration Bay by Shelley Freidont. I love that series. And
Anita asked, have you read House of Night? It's Halloweeny. I have not.
That sounds like actual scary, not cozy. Is it scary or is it just a cozy?
Is that the young adult like?
Oh, yeah, she said it's a series. Yes, okay, I see it now. Yeah, I have not read it.
I read like the first one and I liked it, but then I never finished. It's like one of those that you read. I'm really bad about that. I'll like read the first one and then I never read anymore.
Exactly, Robin. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't even know about them.
Right, don't know what it is. And I think that's too is like when people compare or think sci-fi and fantasy are the same thing too. It's like, have you read one? Because they're really not.
But. Yeah, well, and I can tell you, as someone who doesn't read either, I wouldn't know the difference unless I had somebody explain to me. I thought they were a lot of the kind of the same,
right?
The same thing,
right? Well, Anita said it's a Hogwarts with vampires. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Leanna, I'm planning to start World War Z, but only read on daylight.
I wanted to try that, but then I read that guy's Bigfoot book, the same author, was it called The Evolution? And that thing bored me to tears, and I'm like, now I'm afraid to try World War Z.
I've seen the movie, but I didn't read the book. That does sound cool. Yeah, like I would be down for like a Hogwarts with vampires. I read it was. I don't remember. There was another vampire one, but it did take place at a school.
Vampire Academy or something
Yes,
like that.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yep. Thank you.
Another one that I read the first book and
I only read the first one. I didn't read past that one either. Yeah. I'm surprised you knew that one, Tiffany.
When I worked at the residential home, it was a very popular series that
True.
the girls wanted to read.
True.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Very, very popular.
Yeah.
That and Uglies.
And Vampire Diaries. That's another one that I read the first book of and I never read anymore.
I read a bunch of Vampire Diaries. Robin just read The Uglies, the whole series of that this year.
Yeah, I remember she was reading it at one point. Yeah.
Dystopian type things has never been my thing.
No?
I could never get into it very well.
Did you
I
do
tried, but
Hunger Games or?
I read the first one and I hated it and I never read it anymore.
Okay. Anita, I'm going to read the second in the series for House of Night.
My aunt loves that series, Anita. She loves the House of Night series.
Robin, she did enjoy the Uglies. Yeah, I remember she was into that. I was getting like when she was talking about it, I was getting like almost like vibes of like that Twilight Zone episode where like everybody had like the pig face and the wanted to change into, and the procedure weren't working for her.
Go down there. Go.
Oh,
Go.
I don't know, but that sounds wow.
Sorry about that.
It wasn't a scary one. It was just like a weird one. But I saw a preview of World War Z with running zombies and yelled out, "Oh hell no!"
Oh my god!
I think that is a big thing with zombies. People are like, "Are they fast? Are they slow?" You know, like that.
Well, because like all the old ones, you know, they're all slow and they're like brains.
Right. Right.
And now they've got them where they're like smarter and more intelligent and like runners.
Nope. Yes, Eye of the Beholder. Yes, I love that episode too. That was one of my favorites. On New Year's Day here, probably everywhere, I guess, they play like a marathon of Twilight Zones on New Year's Day. So I like look through and see which ones are playing, and then like I plan my New Year's Day around watching the episodes I like.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever watched like Twilight Zone.
No,
I haven't either.
Some of them, like a lot of them, have like a very like World War II twist to them, just because of the time they came out. But then a lot of them do have like a good. I wouldn't say they're scary. Maybe a little.
Isn't there two different versions, like the old ones, and then they remake it or something?
They did remake them. Yeah, bless you.
Do you prefer the older ones, or do you read?
I've never seen the newer ones.
You never. Okay.
Never saw them. It scared you. Yeah, I can see why it would scare you because they're creepy. Bless you.
Thank you.
Song for the Twilight Zone. Yes. For Twilight Zone, and then there was another Tales from the Dark Side that used to come on really late at night too, and that theme scared me too. Like if I would try to make it to bed before that came on because I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to hear it. Something's gonna happen.
I think the middle grade horror nowadays would probably scare some people.
Me.
It's definitely come a long way since Goosebumps.
True. Yeah. But Goosebumps and like Fear Street and those things were kind of like creepy back in the day too.
Oh, Fear Street definitely was, because I really liked those. Fear Street, and then so Fear Street was R.L. Stine, and then the ones that Christopher Pike wrote, I can't remember what those were called, but
you like Sleepover, Chainmail and
Over Friends and all those, but I still think that those were R.L. Stine, weren't they? Christopher Pike
horror.
had
There's some point horror books that are kind of like that. I don't know who, but I think there are a bunch of different authors that do those. But they're called like point horror.
But yeah, those
Christopher Pike did a lot of those, like the chain letters and Remember Me.
Yep. You're right. You guys are right. I was thinking that was R.L. Stine, but yes, Chainmail and Midnight Club, which I even remember that one. I'm looking at the cover right now, and it's like they were having like a slumber party with a Ouija board, and things went awry, and some of those were scary. They scared there was the cheerleader, and then they had like Fear Street Saga, where it was like a little series within that, and those scared me. It was like a burning something chronicle or something like that.
Tiffany, I'm surprised you read these, being that you don't like that stuff at all.
I did. I was braver when I was younger, apparently.
I was gonna say that's before she became the scaredy cat. She was a little bit braver back then.
That's
Not
why.
with movies. Not with movies. I've never, and honest to goodness, all the way through from start to finish, I've seen probably less than 5 scary movies in my entire life from start to finish. I just don't. I've never.
I just watched one today.
What did you watch today?
The Toll.
The what?
The Toll. It's about this like kind of like an Uber, like a car driver picked up this girl, and she gave him directions to where she wanted to go, and they're going along the road, and all of a sudden his car like won't work, and she walks off, and then when she ends up right back where she was, like she just went a big circle, even though she went one way and came out the other way. And and it says pay the toll or whatever it is was written on the card because there's a toll man. And
yeah, it looks very creepy. I don't think you'd watch it, Tiffany.
No, I wouldn't.
She's like, nope, would not.
It wasn't that scary. It was okay, but
Leanna said at the very beginning of the pandemic, with everyone's faces covered, reminded me of that Twilight Zone. I like Night Gallery. Both have interesting and social commentary. Yeah. I have a few of them that I like, and I get disappointed if they don't come on. But
and with those kind of the movie that you just described, Storm, I think that those scare me more than like unrealistic stuff, like stuff that could happen. Like you could easily get in car with an Uber driver and they be a crazy lunatic. I mean, that's way more believable than I mean, it would still scare me just because I'm a fear jumper. Like we've talked about, like Lee, you said you are too, like anything can make me jump. And I just don't like that. But like, I'm
realistic
the movie scares me because of all the like jumps and stuff, but I'm not scared a doll's going to come to life and like start trying to kill me.
Right.
Like, because I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But like getting lost in the woods and there be a psychopath. I mean, that's especially with my job. I'm like, oh, I mean, like totally, and so what you just described, I'm like, that's way more scary than like, although today, again, only in Florida, I saw a guy who had a mannequin head in the back of his car and it was looking at you and it had a Jason mask. Or no, the other guy, the Halloween guy.
Michael Myers.
They had his mask on it. Freaked me out. I was sitting at a stoplight and I was right behind him and I was like, we need to go because I'm done with this. I was like,
That's gonna be a big thing this year because of Michael Kills coming out.
Marcus just saw it last night. He's like, oh, we're watching it this weekend. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's on like Peacock too, like and stuff. I was like, wow.
The new one?
Yeah.
Peacock bought the Universal gave sold the rights to like Peacock for like it and a bunch of other things. I can't remember, but I was like, wow.
Yeah, I said Peacock Premium is gonna have it. I'm like, oh, okay.
We don't have premium, but I was like, maybe we should get premium
for $5. I mean, you're not gonna pay that to go to the movies.
Quit mouthing me.
We got the $4.95 Peacock package because of hockey. But I emailed them just like 2 days ago and I was like, I understand that I get ads. I have no problem watching ads. But there needs to be some sort of choice in the ads you watch. And to be honest, I don't care what ads I get, except that I don't want to be seeing these horror ads because I seriously, even the trailers can scare me. Yeah. Or if a child was watching it, I'd be really upset if my child was watching it. And I'm like, I don't care about what ads I see. I just don't want to see those. Anything else, because I'm not really paying attention, but those are enough to scare me. And especially, like I said, if a young child, I'm like, I don't know if there's a way to do that, but you need to rethink just showing those randomly to anybody.
Yeah.
They could save the horror ads for later at night when most of the kids are asleep or something.
Yeah, and they of course they sent me back. Thank you for your feedback. We'll pass it on. I'm like,
okay, thanks for nothing.
Which they were very nice, but I mean, the odds of it actually happening. But I just wanted them to know because I would be, I don't know.
I'm not a big like Michael Myers fan, but I kind of want to see the new one just because it's like full circle around with Jamie Lee Curtis being in the first one, and now she's gonna be this one, and just the dynamics of like how old she was in the first one, and now she's got gray hair and everything in this last one. It's kind of cool.
Did you watch the last one that came out in 2018?
No.
Okay, so yeah, that was the first reiteration for coming back. So I'll watch it. I mean, I don't. It's Michael Myers.
I haven't watched much. I don't even know if I've ever watched the first Halloween all the way through. Those came out like when I wasn't really big into like horror.
I watch Halloween 2 every year. Every year. Mark's a huge Halloween fan.
When I was like 13, I think I was around 13 or so, I remember my parents, they loved horror movies and stuff. And they were watching like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. One of them, I don't remember which one, but I'm like, I can do this. I'm gonna do this. And I'm sitting there, and the girl's running through the woods, and you can hear all this stuff. And I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. And I'm watching it, and she falls, and then of course, you hear that, and then I'm out, and I took on.
So
did y'all see who's the musician that did one of the Halloweens?
Oh, shit.
Rob Zombie. Did y'all see that one? Yeah. I mean, I didn't, but I know a lot of people who,
Yeah. Mark's very big into horror. I wind up watching a lot of stuff I don't want to watch.
I ended up getting into horror when I was in high school, and I had a friend, and that's like all she watched. Yeah. And so when I go to spend the night over at her house, that's what we watched. So you just kind of got used to it. We'd be eating pizza, watching horror movies.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, so my father and I went together to loads of horror films. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So are you into them or not? Like you just got forced into watching them? Curious.
And it's fun watching the stuff that my parents used to watch because it's like, this is so bad. And you guys got scared.
Well, like the special effects were terrible and like it's so obvious now. And they're like, no, people were fainting over this. I'm like, really? Over this?
Though I will say that Gruesome Twosome was, I would think, was pretty kind of gross for like back then. It was like a 60s. And it was about a lady who she sold hair wigs and they were actual real hair.
Okay.
And she had kind of a like mentally son, and he was in this room, and she would have these girls, college girls, that wanting to rent out a room, and she would rent out the room to them, and then she would lock her son in there with him, and he was the one that would just like cut, and it actually showed like blood running, and I thought for 60s it was kind of gross. Like I was, because my mom's like, you got to watch this for the 60s. It was really gross.
Yeah, and I mean that's creepy. Appreciate the time of it. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
that was the first movie that my mom and dad went to on a date.
Oh, that's cute. I mean, well, seems like I think I would be like, and I'll see you later. But I'm not into that.
I think also during that time, that was the time like you wanted to take a girl to a scary movie, so she would like hang on to you,
Yeah. When I started when Netflix came about, and we had Netflix when they were brand new and only did the DVDs sent to you. We had it then, and like I started like watching all of the stuff that they had from when I was a kid, and to see it now, like what Storm's saying, like here's a good example. I loved The Never-Ending Story when I was a kid, and it is the most horribly made movie ever. Like when I watched it, because I watched it when I got those years ago now, but like when it came, when Netflix started coming, and I mean, like that dog was so poorly made, but when I was like 7, it was amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I remember, everybody likes Halloween Town, the Disney Halloween Town. I mean, one of my favorites was Mr. Boogedy, and I watched it like the other day because it's on Disney Plus, and so I like watched it. And I'm like, this is so lame, but I just loved that whenever I was younger. I watched it just for nostalgia, but it was kind of lame. Right.
Leanna said, I love gothic horror, but not sadistic horror. Fond of vampires and werewolves. Okay, I could see that.
I like creature features the best. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Lake Placid with the giant alligator.
Oh, I love Lake Placid.
Oh my gosh, I kind of want to install this. I have a ad on my phone right now. It's through YouTube, I guess, but it says install like you would download it. It's the Bible read to you by James Earl Jones. I got to
Oh
tell
yeah.
you, I'm really considering hitting download on this.
Just for the James Earl Jones part.
Yes.
I feel like though there'd be some people like I can't have what's his name? You're a fan of him. You wanted him to be your grandparent, Tiffany.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, but I feel like I would fall asleep if he was reading it to me. You know, like his voice is just soothing and you just like kind of get into a lull and that's it.
Yeah, I can see that with Morgan Freeman.
I
But that's
haven't-
kind of why I wanted it. I was like, he'd make a great grandpa.
Yes.
Yeah, I have an audio book that I listen to the Bible at night and everything, and it's got different people that do it, and it's pretty cool. But the only parts I don't like is when they have music in the background, and I'm like, I guess I just don't like music in the background when somebody's talking, because I don't like that in the Cozy Mystery when I had that one book track that had the music in the background.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
With the music.
Well, even Chris, my coworker, does YouTube videos, and he was like, "How do you feel like when somebody's talking and there's music in the background?" I'm like, "It's annoying. It's distracting, and people don't know how loud they have the music going. Sometimes you're like competing to hear what they're saying."
Yeah, I'm like, why do you have the music going when you're talking? Because I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I like it during transitions.
Yes.
Or, if somebody's doing a vlog and they're just showing something, I like it. But if they're talking, I don't want it. It throws me off. I can't. I don't care for it.
Sure. Yeah, like to fill the silence, but not to talk over it.
I'm really thinking about downloading this, but I like study Bibles that and I doubt that that's what this is. And I wonder, it doesn't tell me which version it is either, which would be interesting.
Some of the Bible apps, though, you can like pick which version you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It might be one of those like that.
Tejan says I have an audiobook of the Bible read by David.
That's cool.
Mr. Perot from the TV show. Nice. I've still never read any of those books.
I haven't either.
I'm sorry.
I just got into Agatha Christie, I think last year. So
I've never read an Agatha Christie book.
Oh wait, is Agatha Christie Orient Express?
Mm-hmm.
So that one.
That's what I was about to say. I guess you know what I have read.
Oh, okay.
Because I read that one, Murder on the Orient Express, and I also read Death in the Clouds or something where they're it's Perot and they're on a plane. It's like a closed-in murder, but it's on a plane ride. So yeah, I think it's called Death in the Clouds or Death by the Clouds.
There is one called that, I think.
Okay.
I read that one.
I've only read 4 of the Perot books. I'm reading in order, and people are like, "You don't have to read them in order." I'm like, "Yes, I do."
My rules. That's what we're doing. And I grew up around some very unusual witchy type people and ghostly experiences, so I laugh at some of the bad stuff movies show about ghosts. Yeah, I could see that, especially if you have your own real life experiences. Tiffany's like, I don't want any real life experiences at all.
I had a friend who used to live in a haunted house.
When the house tells you to get out, Tiffany, do you pack your stuff and leave, or you just leave?
I mean, no joke. It's yours. I'm out. I built 3 miles from my grandmother for a reason. I'll be at Mima's. See you later. Done. Our project we built in the middle of the pandemic. Like we contracted in the middle of January, so we had already put down money. There was nothing we could do about it, and then the pandemic hit in February. And so we were essentially building during COVID, which was a miserable experience. I mean, it was a great experience, but it was miserable because our date got pushed back so many times that we thought we were going to be homeless because our apartment had already been rented, but then the house wasn't done. So anyways, but our project manager, I get a phone call one night and this guy's like, well, it said Maryland, so I didn't answer. And they called right back like 5 minutes later. So I answered because I was like, well, maybe they are looking for me because it was the second time. But it said Maryland on the caller ID. So I answered. This is guy and he's screaming. He's like, I mean, screaming like in terms of he's talking inappropriately loud. And he's like,
Mhm.
"Hi, I'm your new project manager. Jason's out and I'm in. I can't talk about it. He's done. He's not with us. And I can't talk anymore about it." And I'm like, "Is he buried under my garage? Because you're making me think." and so I sometimes make that joke, like, I'm like, if it starts smelling outside, I'm a little worried. I emailed him after daylight because I had his email because he'd been emailing, and I'm like, "Can you just let me know you're all right?" And he never responded. I'm like, oh my God.
He was fed to the alligator in the
I was
backyard.
literally about to say the alligators got him. They ate good that day.
I did. I emailed him and I was like, "Hey, I know you're no longer with I can't think of the name. So it doesn't matter, but Ryan Holmes."
No, I bet a lot of
Um,
people go missing and never be found in Florida because that'd be easy way to get rid of people.
I'm like, "I know you're no longer with Ryan Holmes, but is everything good?" No response. I mean, I never got anything, and I'm like, "Oh." But it could have been a work email too, like where when he was done, he couldn't see the emails
they
anymore. But
canceled it.
it was just the way the guy said it, and I guess he was always a loud talker. I think he just maybe because of construction, he'd been around loud things.
Probably, yeah.
But I was just like, it was so disalarming,
Why
and the
are
way
you
he said it
shouting
too.
at
He's
me?
out, and I'm in, and I can't say any more about it. But he's gone. He's not with us, and I'm like, gone like forever. Like,
You're like, from this earth, or
exactly.
I used to work at a call center, and like you could hear this one lady like 5 rows like over here. You could hear, "How may I help you?" And she just had a kind of a naturally loud voice, but it was basically because her mother was deaf, and like she'd have to holler at her really loud because she couldn't hear, and she just got to where that's just how she talked.
Yeah.
And she couldn't tone it down because she just got used to talking like that. So
that's how we would be after we went to our great aunt's house, and then we'd come home and my grandmother would still be yelling at us. We're like, "We're home now. You don't have to keep yelling." She's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. And my dad, before he passed away, probably should have had a hearing aid, but he never did. And so he talked obnoxiously loud. And I don't mean he was obnoxious, just the way he talked, because I think because he couldn't hear, he thought
Yeah.
everybody else couldn't hear.
Yeah.
So he would talk super, super loud. And, so one of the times he was in the hospital, he woke up and there was a priest he had to share a room, and there was a priest giving last rites. And he started like yelling at my mom, "Vic, am I dead? I'm here. Am I dead?" Because he didn't realize he was disoriented, but this guy was having and my mom's like, "Shut up. There's a priest in the room." He's like, "I know. Am I dead?" And my mom's like, "Oh my Lord." Because he talked so loud. It was totally like,
It's like, clearly you're not dead if your wife's talking to you. But, okay.
It was very.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Oh my.
I love those type of stories, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Cajun said, "I like watching Christy shows / movies, but I can't get into the books. Her writing style, I guess, doesn't work for me." I think
Yeah.
that's why I didn't realize I read a Perot book, because I'm not a fan of the Orient Express book. I'm sorry. I apologize now in advance, Storm. I'm sorry.
I haven't read that one, so I don't know.
Okay.
I want to read it like really bad because I want to watch like the new version of it, the movie. But I'm like, I gotta read the book first, so I have to wait.
It's funny. Anita said, "My family was in South Carolina on a golf course, and we saw a small dog run into a bush, and a huge alligator came out a minute later. Then 5 minutes later, a woman came looking for the dog.
Ooh.
We had to tell her about the dog." Oh, that is horrible.
Oh, that is horrible. And like here, I don't know how long ago that was or if it's changed, but they have leash laws that they like enforce strictly because of the alligators eating dogs, not just because they want your dog on a leash. I think most places have a leash law, but they don't really, but here they majorly enforce it because I mean, they're like
if
a
you
snack
don't want
to a
your
dog.
animal to become lunch meat, then put it on a leash. I mean,
Yeah. And they're like a snack to an alligator.
That's the one thing in movies that I hate, like horror movies, like whenever it's like a creature movie or they're out in the, like, there's always an animal. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Cause I'm going to be like anxiety the whole time. Is the dog going to get ate? Is the dog going to get ate?
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know. Have you ever, I know she hasn't, but have you ever seen Meg?
Yes.
It's got that little dog, and there's this big shark, and there's this little dog.
And you already know. You're like, oh, here we go. Come on.
Like,
I couldn't watch that either.
No, yeah.
So I think the dog survived, I think.
Yes, he did.
But I mean, just the whole time it's just like,
it was the anxiety of like, this is going to happen. And it was just like, no, didn't happen.
And that's my friend. She will dock a star off a book.
You're saying
kill the dog.
Well, I don't blame her. I would too. My grandmother has like, what do they call those? What is a sunbank or a sandbank? God, what is that called? Kevin's got headphones on, so he doesn't know. Anyways, because she's got water on her behind her house too, like a lake, and there's a big dip, like 6 foot between where you would not walk down any further.
What, a sand dune?
Kinda, but that's not what they call it here. But essentially, yes, that's why I said sandbank or something like that. Anyways, there's 2 alligators that will sit there once in a while, and they'll curl their tails like this. And she sent us a picture that said, "See, everyone can find a mate." I was like, okay. But and then when her husband was still alive, she used to say, "Fred, I wonder which one's which." And he said, "Well, take your fingernail polish and go down there and just mark one of its tails."
No. Cajun. Some book I was reading a couple of weeks ago, her dog was missing, and then I had to skim ahead to make sure he was okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I would too. That would give me anxiety.
That's just like the thing when me and my friend were buddy reading or something, and if it's a horror, and if something happens to the dog and one of us get to it first, we're always like, warning, there's going to be a part. And then that's like, at least I'm ready for it,
Yeah. Ahead of time.
Still gets it star docked, but at least you're ready for it.
You know about it.
Like she does more than one.
More than one. Well, hey, Mike, how are you?
Happy Friday to you. It's good to see you, Mike.
Leanne.
Oh, chased by a gator, yeah.
I got chased by a gator down the street in Florida, but got to her porch in time.
I sent that picture, I think, to the Discord that they put on the news of the gator that was at the door, and the cat's just sitting there. I'm like, I gotta tell you, I feel like the cat's antagonized this situation.
Right.
He's just sitting there looking at him like, come on. And I'm like, if he gets through that door, you're gonna regret this.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have totally opposite like the gator, but we have like little rabbits and stuff that'll sit out there because they know my dogs can't get out there because the door, and they just sit there and they're just chewing on the little grass, just like ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's too much. That's like, that's like, I feel like I can't go like south of North Carolina because there's too much nature that I'm uncomfortable with.
The gators, I mean, they really kind of stay and don't bother you at all unless it's mating season. And it's not even that they're trying to bother you. They're usually trying to find different water to see if they can find a mate. But they walk through wherever, they'll go wherever. And then, that can be a big problem. But the snakes are what bother me. The snakes, because luckily I'm not in the part of Florida where it's real bad, but they have like where they're paying people to like kill. I think some sort of python. There's a certain name of it, but I don't know what kind. I don't know very much about snakes, but some of those they said is like 9, 10, 12 feet. And I'm like, okay, no, just no. You talked about giving your house to a ghost. I'm out. They can have it. It's theirs. I'm out.
No. It happened to their kids or their dogs. Yeah, I get that.
I'm with you, Anita.
It's sad. We have cities in the South. I wasn't saying it as in deliverance. I mean, I know that I used to just always know. So because I always like, I have a fear that I like come off northern snobbery, and it's not that at all. It's for me, it was just a fear in Florida. Then my dad lives in North Carolina and my stepbrother, and I remember them going, don't go in the backyard because there's snakes back there. And I'm like, oh, hell no, we're not doing this. So that's my limit right now because I don't hear of it that often more north than that.
I had my aunt and uncle they lived in this place. It's called Shell Knob, and they had a house, and they had outhouses whenever I was little, and they had the water was outside. They had to pump the thing, to get the water going, and all that stuff. And whenever I was little, they had snakes like copperheads and everything all over. They'd just be sunning themselves on like the rocks and everything. And I'm just like, oh, and I was afraid of snakes because I got bit when I was 2. And I was like, I can't do it. And so I would make my mom, she'd have to take me out to like around someplace, and we'd look on the ground and make sure there's no snakes. And I would like squat because I wouldn't go in the outhouse because I'm like, no, there could be snakes. Because my aunt one time, she was sitting there and a snake crawled out through a hole and curled up in the corner, and she come running out pulling her britches up. I was like, nope, I ain't going in them things.
Well, and then we had problems with our pipes when we first moved in, but it was like they were clogged. It was like 2 weeks after we moved in. We're like, what is going on? And it like the construction workers had stuck in like, I mean, when the guy was cleaning it out, it was like bags of like chips and like Gatorade bottles and concrete. I mean, everything. They just thrown it down. But our neighbors, they had a frog come up through their toilet and jump out. And I was like, I don't think I'm so glad if that ever I don't know if I could do a toilet again. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, that's what my one coworker, she says her parents live in Florida, and she's like, oh yeah, when we go there, we always have to check under the toilet seat to make sure there's nothing in there. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. First world problems, whatever you want to call it. No, I don't want to do that.
Well, when I gotta tell you, I think I always kind of make sure there's nothing in a toilet before I sit down. So, but
the house that they lived in, they moved. They got a new house where it was like, updated new house and everything. And they like tore this one down, and they said it pretty much that was like a den of copperheads underneath it. No. And I'm like, and I had to stay there.
No, see that? I can't do it. I just can't. I can't even. I freak out about the little geckos in Florida running around. Like,
oh, I like the geckos.
I can't. Like, I can't.
Except that, when they get inside, because you can't.
I see it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you can't catch them. The geckos are the really small frogs.
Oh yeah, no, you can't catch them. No, I know that.
You can't catch them, and then Kairu likes to chase them. And in the house,
they're so fast, and they're not going to hurt you. But here's the thing: like, you can't convince me that they're more scared of me than I am of them. That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm more scared of them.
The other day, I was sitting here, reading and stuff, and Dresden's like over there by the door, and I said she was barking, and I go, well, go out, because I mean it was opened enough where she could go out, and she kept barking and barking. I'm like, what are you barking at? So I like go over there and look, and there was like a praying mantis just sitting there, his little hands doing this, and I'm like, oh,
that's why.
What do I do with that? So I had to get a piece of paper. I was like, try to scoop it. I'm like, Dad, come here, get this and put it outside.
I feel like I can't do it. I ain't doing it. Have you guys ever? We were talking about YouTube channels. Have you guys ever watched Heatherland?
Mm-mm.
That's her channel. It's called Heatherland. She makes videos that every single one is I ain't doing it, and it'll be like whatever we're talking about. And then she always talks about what she like snakes and blah blah blah, and then she'll end it with I would rather, and she'll say the most like random something, and then she's like I ain't doing it. It's very funny. And that's how that's her entire series is like I ain't doing it. And now she's got like she became so popular making these videos on YouTube that she does like a comedy tour.
Oh, nice.
And she has her face modified in all her videos. I think she was like one of the first ones that did it, where her mouth's like huge and her eyes are real big, so you don't see her.
Right.
But some of her videos are pretty funny.
Cajun, yeah, trust me, I don't like the woodsy part either. Yeah, no, I just.
Hey, you know what? Some of the scariest movies that I've ever seen with creatures in them were in the cities.
Yeah, like listen, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to. No.
So the woods is not. I've seen them in the cities, like Alligator, the movie from the
That's
1980s.
exactly what I was thinking of when you said that. Yes. For like the longest time, I was like terrified because of that.
Of what one?
It's called Alligator. It's like from 1980. It's like the kid brought home a little alligator, and his father threw it down supposedly like down the toilet, so it went down into the sewers, and it grew real big.
And now it wants revenge, of course, because
and it come up through there. So it was walking real slow through the city, eating people, and stuff. And so I was like, yeah, I've seen them scary movies like that in the cities.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's probably what started my terror of all these things. Yeah, so my mother had a bunch of baby frogs jump out of the toilet paper roll. Needed nope, exactly. Hell no. That's terrifying.
I've had a frog in my room that I had to catch one time. And the only thing is I'm like, where do you come from?
Right. It's like, what do we
do?
The
worst I've had, though, is I swear I was getting trauma from the wasp in my room earlier, whenever I was telling you guys about, I swear I probably killed like 30 of them. I'm like.
And you're like, where do they keep coming from?
Yeah, I couldn't find them. And then even after we got rid of the nest that I found, they were still kept coming in. I'm like, where are you coming from?
Please leave me alone.
I dropped my computer on the floor because one flew right by me and hit right here. And I was like, whoa, and there went the computer. And I'm like, oh.
No, I remember even when me and my mom went on a road trip to Arizona and New Mexico. And the whole time we're like, no, there's going to be snakes. There's going to be scorpions everywhere. We're going to have to get out of the car and look on the ground. And I remember I went to go rent a car there, and I'm telling the guy yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because of, snakes and scorpions. He's like, well, you're from New Jersey. I would be scared of black bears. I'm like, how often do you think I've seen a black bear? No. He's like, well, how often do you think I've seen a snake or a scorpion? I'm like, every day. I assume you see them every day. So there's me and my mom. Anytime we would get out anywhere, we're looking out of the side of the car first before we'd go anywhere. We had to be back to the hotel before dark because we didn't want them to be out there, and probably spent a lot of time worrying about it for no reason. Hey, Ashley, how are you? It has
Hello.
Been a while. I don't know if you guys want to do another reading sprint. I know we've chatted for quite a bit.
I'm up for one if you guys are.
I'm gonna do. I could do one more because then I got wrestling tonight. So.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to wrap up, we can do that so you can eat or whatever before wrestling. That I'm fine with whatever.
Yeah.
Oh no, Anita! I was once at school in Arizona. There was a scorpion walking on the ceiling. See, that's exactly what I imagine happens all the time. Oh, congratulations!
Oh, congratulations!
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! You got married in Jamaica, right? You just.
Oh, this was the guy from Jamaica, right?
I remember watching her married in Jamaica.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome! Congratulations.
Yes. One of the kids saw it and screamed. But did you have anybody in the class that was like, "I'll take care of this"? Because I feel like there's always some little boy that has no problem taking care of that. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch a girl in Hawaii, and she would have those huge bugs and just what's normal there or whatever. And she had 3 sons that they would take care of it for her like that. I'm like, that's what you need. You had to have those 3 Hawaiian boys that would take care of it all for you. Congratulations. Larry watched you guys say congrats to him from before. He says thank you. You guys are thoughtful. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice. You guys want to go from how long you want to do? We'll do it at 45. You want to do 20 minutes or
when does wrestling start? And what do you need to do in between? You should decide this one just so you know you have enough time.
Wrestling starts at 10, and I still need to order food and eat.
Okay, so
I don't need to eat. I just need to order the food before then, so it'll show up by then. So, which I'm going to do first because I don't even know what book I'm going to read.
Let's just do 20 minutes, and then I should give you plenty of time to.
Yep,
that sounds good. Perfect. Happy reading.
What time are we coming back? That's what. 5 after.
5 after. Yep.
All right. Happy reading, everyone.
How'd you guys do?
Good. I got a little more reading to do tonight, but between tonight and tomorrow morning, I'll definitely have it finished.
Okay. What about you, Storm? You're on mute. She realized just right then.
Yeah, I realized it like the same time. I didn't get a whole lot done this go around, but altogether I went from 14% to 27% tonight. So
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't start anything new because I was deciding between what book I wanted to start. And I'm like, oh, maybe this one, maybe that one. But then I was going to pick up Inheritance Games, which has been on my TBR. But for some reason, I just scrolled down and the first person said, another cliffhanger. I'm like, nope, I just did that tonight. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing that to myself. So I think I'm going to go with Survive the Night by Riley Sager. So I'll start reading that one.
yeah, I'd be curious to see what you think of that since it's got such mixed reviews.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, oh, man. But I'm just like, let me just dive in and see what happens. Have you read Storm? Maybe not because I don't see you did yet, but Hide and Seeker. It's like another middle grade thriller.
No, I haven't. It's on my list, but
Yeah,
I haven't.
I was just curious. So I thought about that one for a minute, and I'm like, I don't know. Don't want it to end off on a cliffhanger, you know. Ashley said I haven't been on to stop and say hi. She had to go though. It's good that she stopped it though.
Yeah. Good to see you, Ashley. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Hannah. I know you probably already left to go to work. Hey, Stephanie. Cajun, 9%. What happened, Cajun?
Yeah, you missed a percent.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was going on?
We did a shorter sprint.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. That's it. Melanie, 11 pages. Nice.
Nice.
Just get back. Only did a couple pages. It's okay.
What?
Cheryl,
Hi, Sherry.
hey. It's relaxed. Sorry, I got here so late. It's all good.
No problem.
Agent, shorter time. You're right. I didn't realize that. You're right. You're right. And the place that we were going to order from, we didn't even realize closed at 9. So we had our order all ready. And then it's like, oh, do you want to place an order for Saturday? I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, man, we closed. So,
Oh, on a Friday. That seems a little bit early.
Yeah.
a Friday night, 9 o'clock. I'm like, I thought that. And I looked and they close 9 all week. And I'm like, that seems a little weird. They would usually do Friday, Saturday a little bit later. But
I'm wondering if it's COVID hours.
It could be.
I mean, like, because I think a lot of businesses like that have modified just because of like even staff, not necessarily.
True.
You know what I mean? So maybe it's
Yeah,
something
like
like that.
our Denny's isn't open 24 hours because they don't have enough staff.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it now is too. It's just like we don't have enough people to cover the hours. So, yeah, which I get it. So
Yeah. I mean,
but we decided to order Chinese because the Chinese people are always hustling. So they're going to be open and they'll bring it. So
What would you
I
get?
love Chinese.
Marcus his mouth's been hurting him. He's like, can I get something soft? So we got shrimp with lobster sauce, a couple egg rolls, some soup. Figured the soup for his mouth too. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then
Chinese is one of my favorite things to eat.
tomorrow for lunch, we'll probably, because we got fried rice too. So tomorrow we'll probably like fry up a couple eggs to crack on top of it. Because I love when like the egg yolk mixes in with the rice.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. So that's it.
Sounds
My
good.
dad, after he has his doctor's appointment on when he can't after Monday afternoon, he's on the clear liquid diet for his thing that he has to do.
Oh.
And he's going to be so hungry whenever like Thursday comes around or whatever.
And he deserves a big meal for that.
Well,
right?
we have to go to Joplin.
Okay.
And there's a Chinese place in Web City that we all like. And it's like the next town over. And I'm like, after you get done with that, we can go eat and you can fill up.
There you go. I have to say that I don't know what I pictured your dad to look like, but that was not it. But he had me laughing when he was sticking out his tongue.
Yeah. Lee, I thought the same thing. I don't know what I pictured him looking like.
I don't know, but that wasn't it.
But it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's always been a goober. I always say that My friends, they always thought he was so cool and so fun, and I
Aw,
was just like,
sweet.
embarrassing.
Aw, he was adorable.
Anita says,
He can make his eyes like go really big and stuff, and my friends used to think that was so funny. And I'd
I'm
just be
sorry,
like,
Anita. I don't mean to make you hungry. I'm sorry. I'm starving over here. I'm trying to put on a smiley. I'm half hangry right now. So Anita said, I used to live in Webb City. Where are you? I'm assuming that's Missouri. So,
yeah.
okay.
I'm in a little town called Granby.
Granby.
The Cajun said, I know he looks so young. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I pictured this, and I don't even know how to describe a man that's always angry because he can't eat what he wants to eat. I don't know what that would look like, but that's just what I picture.
That may be him by Thursday.
That's funny.
He's got his Jello because he can only have like it's the nasty Jello because he can only have like the orange and the green Jello.
Yes.
And he can only have he can have some broth. He can have popsicles, but none of the good popsicles and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But he can still have coffee, so he was okay with that.
I'm sure that's like what's going to keep him surviving is that. Anita knows where that is.
Cool.
Nice. Only certain flavors.
Yeah. I mean, I've had procedures like, I don't know what he's having done, but I've had procedures where it's only certain flavors because they don't want the color of the other flavors in your body. So like no red, no anything in case they, certain, I guess, colors mess with their testing or make it look like there's something wrong when there's not.
He's having the colon thing done. So
that's
yeah.
yeah.
That's what I same thing.
So yeah, so
Does he
it's
have
the
to do
red and stuff like
does
that.
he have to do all the other stuff too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the worst part of it.
Yeah, he's not really happy about it. And then they're like, oh, and if if something happens and it doesn't go right and we have to do it again, then Medicare won't pay for it. You have to pay for it. And he's like, heck, if it don't go right, you ain't getting me again. He's like, I ain't doing it again.
Poor dad, because now I really do feel for him. He needs a good Chinese meal.
That's what I was like. Yeah, I was like, he needs something like really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let him enjoy it, and that's it. That sucks. That really does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and he had one done like 5 years ago, and he goes, already again?
It seems like it was just yesterday.
Yeah, it's just like,
that's funny.
It can feel like that.
He wasn't going to have it. He wasn't going to do it. He just wasn't going to ignore because I guess the doctor called or something, reminded him that it's been 5 years or whatever. And he's like, oh, well, okay. But then the doctor he went and seen's like, oh, and by the way, you need to have this done, and I'm going to call it in for you. And he's like,
I got away with it and didn't happen.
Well, I thought like once you're like in your 70s, they probably wouldn't worry about it anymore. But I guess.
Yeah. Better to be safe. Anita, what's going on tomorrow, Tiffany?
Noon live. We have our series read along. It is the third book in the Kebab Kitchen series by Tina Cashian. One Feta in the Grave. I got it right this time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that'll be at noon Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll also do reading sprints and kind of all those things. And
we're also pulling for the prompts for November.
Yes, tomorrow we'll be pulling 2 for the 2nd and the 4th week. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, I'm interviewing Sarah Fox, who writes the Pancake House mystery series and the Literary Pub mystery series. So I'm really excited about that. I enjoy both those series.
Nice.
And that's at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday.
What about you, Storm? You have anything going on coming up?
Well, I'm doing another vlog, so.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a weekend vlog right now too. So.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't have anything like coming up like tomorrow or anything.
Yeah, I'll be killing time with cozies tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yay!
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I better get started doing my skimming.
Yeah.
I still got a few more hours before I go to bed. So
A few more hours.
it's only 8:15 here. So
Tiffany, people stay up past 9:30.
sometimes I'm up till 11. So and get up at like 7 o'clock to go to Denny's with my dad for coffee. When sometimes I'm like, I want to sleep.
Is what
Anita, the live, is that what you're asking? You're saying it's on my channel if you're asking about the live.
Yeah.
If you're asking about what's going on in Discord, I mean, I think just chat. I think you're asking that. So if you're asking about the live for tomorrow at noon and on Sunday at 1, they're on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I answered that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I've had I think I kind of mentioned this in the Discord. I've had a lot of authors contact me about wanting to do interviews, but contacting me instead of me contacting them. And although I think that's really awesome and it's exciting, I like it the other way around, because if I reach out to an author, it's because I've read them and I know what they write. I don't feel comfortable having somebody on and interviewing them when it's a book I haven't read, just because I don't know what's in it. And I don't want to promote something on my channel that is problematic or whatever. There's a bunch, there's too much going on that I just don't, makes me
You
feel
want to
uncomfortable.
set it first, yeah.
But I said, so I've been talking with those authors, and I said, well, maybe we would do like a speed dating.
Oh yeah, you said
night.
that. Yeah.
So basically what I'm thinking is I have more than 6, but I said like 6 of them would come on and have like 5 minutes to plug their series or their book. And then at the end of the hour or whatever, if somebody had questions, for an individual author about that book or something like that. But then I wouldn't be promoting it. I'm not saying I've read them. I'm not saying,
right.
That way, if there's something in them that's
I
like that idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think it's a very unique thing. I haven't really seen people do that. So
yeah. So
and they must be seeing you do interviews, or somebody's been telling them about it or something.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like curious, like who they are, So.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of them are authors, maybe KU or kind of independent, because I hadn't heard their names or anything like that.
Where will I be? Tomorrow I will be in the chat for Killing Time with Cozies. Next Friday we'll be on Storm's channel for doing Wonkathon reading sprints.
Yes. Wait, you're in the chat, or you're not going to join us?
No, I'm just. Cozy doesn't want me to come on Saturday. She wants it to just be you and her.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
Storm's like, well, I was going to go on, but I guess not now.
I don't know.
No, I was going to do other stuff around the house at the same time too. So I figured I wasn't going to go on.
And Stephanie G is going to be joining us.
Oh, nice.
And if anybody else wants to join us for like any of these lives that you're interested in, I hope everybody feels welcome. Reach out to whoever's hosting.
If anybody wants to do Friday, let me know.
Yeah. Anytime anybody wants to come on. Nobody needs to be shy about it. So even if you just want to come on for a little bit, test the water, see how you like it, because it is fun. Look, Storm's very shy, and she still comes back on all the time, so it must not be that bad.
And I'll tell you a joke. We'll laugh.
There you go.
I don't bite unless I'm asked to. No, kidding.
Oh, look, Hannah's going to join Tuesday's live.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Yay!
Yeah, that's all I have going on.
I love when Hannah comes on, because I love giving Hannah a hard time. She's like,
so that means I
Hannah
can't
and Lee.
on Tuesday. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, look, Bev can come on next Friday.
That's awesome, Bev. And I watched your video. I loved it. I commented on it already, but I loved it.
She's like, I just want to say again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still catching up on people's. I feel like I watched 10 videos and now there's like 40 more, not even exaggerating. I'm like,
Well, and it's like 40 more from the people I am caught up on, but then there's 40 other people I'm not caught up on,
right,
and they're also making.
right.
I, and
And by
then I
the time
feel
I
like
get to
I'm
their
not,
video,
I
there's
don't
2
want to.
more.
I feel like I'm like, I promise I'm trying to support everybody. So like, I try to get through one of everybody's in a week. Like, I will literally kind of go down my subscription, but I have so many people, and I'm like, I'm trying, I promise.
Yeah, I never get to like everybody. I've been trying to go through mine too and delete the ones that aren't like doing anything anymore because like I've been subscribed to a bunch of people for a long time and like some of them aren't making videos anymore. But like I have like 600 and some like
Yeah.
like yeah, I need to weed out the ones that aren't doing anything so that I know exactly who's doing what.
Yeah, and I don't know why this is like a rule that I have. If you're doing an like a book subscription thing, I don't watch the video. I don't know why. I just pass it along because I know it's going to be like a lot of like little bookish trinkets and stuff, and I'm not interested. So
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of those, but a lot of people like to watch those. So
yeah, I know what people do. I just for myself, I'm like, oh, if I see that, I'm like, oh, I could skip this one and move on.
My favorite things, I like to watch like book hauls and TBRs and
Yeah, no, I do too. I just don't the subscription boxes I don't watch. I don't know why. I don't know, Hannah, if Tiffany would let us both come on at the same time. I think that would be a double trouble.
Of
Literally.
course.
just remember.
I just like giving you guys a hard time. Of course. One day, Anita, I'm going to hold you to it. We all heard it today. We all heard it.
Just do it. Think about it. If you just do an hour and we sprint for 45 minutes, you only had to talk for 15 minutes. And in that 15 minutes, everybody's going to be talking. So it's not going to be weird. Nancy finished Gothic Tales.
Nice, Nancy.
Very nice. Very nice. You pushed through. You got it done.
Yep, she got it done. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then that is the question, Nancy. Did you enjoy it? I don't think she's going to have enjoyed it, but
Nope.
no, I don't think so.
From her comments before, I don't think so. Yeah, like I've only listened to like the first one because I have it on audio, and I don't know, it was okay, but I haven't really been back to it, so I'm like,
Yeah, she read Gothic stories for English and haven't enjoyed them much. And Nancy, no, it was a 2-star. I'm liking Shirley Jackson collection better. Was Shirley Jackson the one that did that when we lived in a castle?
yeah.
Okay, I read that one.
And was it House on Haunted Hill?
Okay, I didn't read that. I only read that.
Haunting of Hill House. That's it, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was by her.
I don't know. I know she writes the lottery.
She's like, I heard haunting. That Tiffany's like, that's all I needed to hear.
Well, and she wrote the lottery.
Oh,
that woman gave me a lot of nightmares. I'll have you know.
Oh, Bev enjoyed that one from the class.
Bev.
Just complained she doesn't like it.
Bev.
I put on when I'm trying to listen to Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I just can't keep from laughing.
I love that show.
Who sent the one the other day? Was it Mrs. Richard Reed?
Stephanie.
Stephanie sent that one with Richard Simmons. Was hilarious.
You know those what are those called? Where you can have like a celebrity like do like a 5-minute thing for people.
Yes, yeah.
I can't think of what those are called.
Cameos?
Cameo.
One of my friends did it with the Colin guy. He bought it for his wife.
Drew Carey?
No, Colin.
Colin. Got it.
Yeah. I don't remember his last name. I know his first name's Colin. But he's the bald one that's always on there with the Ryan guy. He did a cameo for our friend's wife. Her husband got it for her, and it was for her birthday. He was really funny. Funny.
Beautiful Bookish Bethany. She did that to get book recommendations. She did 3. She had, I think it was 2 ladies and a guy. And she had James Marster that played Spike on Buffy and stuff. And he was so cool. He was like, thank you for asking me about what I like to read. And he's like, I'm really into sci-fi. And he was just on and he just talked for a good minute. And told her what he thought, she should read, what one of his favorite reads were. And each of them, they gave really good recommendations. And then she read the books that he liked that they recommended.
That's kind of cool.
She did a video on it, and it was kind of cool. But she's like, I had to get, I have a budget, so she's looking for the cheapest ones.
Some of those people charge a lot of money for those. I did one for April. It was a female wrestler. April was doing like a transformation challenge competition, and I did one for her, and like the girl just like had her in tears because she just like said so much good stuff to her. And like the sucky part about this was that this happened in January when she signed up for it. The competition was going to be in April 2020. So they canceled it. So April was like devastated that like she didn't even get to do the competition. So, but
man,
I'm just like, don't go back again. Yeah. I was like, gives you more time to get in better shape.
True. It's a good way to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Nancy, haven't read many of the Gothic tales yet. Lots of people seem to like The Lottery. Tiffany is not one of those. Neither is Anita.
I've not read it, but I'm kind of curious about it now.
I just told you what it is.
I know, that's why I'm curious.
Who was the wrestler? Mandy Rose was the wrestler. I had to think of what her name was.
I remember her.
Yeah, Mandy Rose. So I think there was like a transformation challenge and a bodybuilding challenge, and the wrestler had been in the bodybuilding competition before. So
that's cool.
Is his last name Colin Firth?
That's an actor. I don't know.
That was somebody else.
That doesn't sound right, but I mean,
I would just say Colin from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I don't think it's the same, the right person, because
it's not. I don't think it's Firth.
Colin Firth, the guy that plays like Mr. Darcy in like the 90s version of Pride and Prejudice too. Yeah, he's a British guy.
Colin Mocree.
Yes.
That's who it is.
Oh, he's British too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from he lives in Canada.
Oh, look at that. I didn't know. Hey, Gisela.
Hey.
That's okay, Cajun. Hi, Gisela.
That's the first name I think of when I hear the name Colin is Colin Firth anyway. So
he's one of my favorite guys. So
isn't he like really attractive? Or am I thinking of the wrong Colin?
I'm wondering if it's the guy. I can't think of the show. He was a movie he was in. Yes.
Well, he's not quite as attractive as he used to because he's got
as who?
I said as he used to be because he's gotten a little older. Yeah. Colin Firth, but
yeah, it was the guy I was thinking.
Oh, that's not who I'm thinking of. I just looked up Colin Firth. That's not who am I thinking
Colin
of?
Farrell?
I think the guy I'm thinking of is
Irish.
Colin Farrell. Thank you. That's who I was thinking of.
That's what I thought maybe because he is pretty good looking.
Yeah, he is pretty cute.
Yeah, I remember Colin Firth played the dad in What a Girl Wants, which is a movie I liked. So I was like, oh yeah, I know.
I actually have that movie.
What a Girl Wants.
I've had it for a long time on DVD.
Amanda Bynes was in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know what I think.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he played Mr. Darcy in like is it the 1990s version or 80s version of Pride and Prejudice? The BBC version. That's the long version.
I've never seen Pride and Prejudice. However, I have read it. So I knew Storm was going to be like, what? I have read it though. Yeah. One of the few classics.
Persuasion's my favorite though.
Okay, well, it'll be, I'm going to try to make it a project for 2022 to read a couple.
Were you the one? Cause I was talking about this, I think on I think it was the Mr. Francie reads tag. Was it you that I was talking to about reading the Count of Monte? Okay. Yeah. I thought so. I was like, I think I was talking to somebody about
it was.
They still want to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be an undertaking, but I think that I can try to do it.
Everybody that's read that one seems to really like it, so I'm hoping, even though it's like this big.
Which one is it?
The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, but everybody says they love it, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if
who is that by?
Alexander Dumas.
Yeah.
I read something in a novels class in high school, but I don't think it was Count of Monte Cristo. There's something that I'm getting it mixed up with.
He also did the Three Musketeers and the Man in the Iron Mask, and
Yeah, I don't think it's that author, but there's something that I'm getting it mixed up with.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a 2-month read,
Yeah.
though, because I hear people like, I've seen people take like the whole year to read that one. I don't know if we need that much. I mean,
Yeah.
knowing that I read Dune that quickly, I don't
I
think
was about to
that much
say
time.
that, yeah.
No, I
Sure.
say that in joke because that was like a miracle that even.
I think if you get
It
a
was-
good audio, you'll be okay. Because there are some really good audios. Because with all the French like words and stuff, I have to have audio to read, follow along.
Mhm.
Because yeah,
You gotta make. Didn't Nancy just finish Count of Monte Cristo? I don't know. Did she?
Oh,
I don't know, but I know Nancy's husband likes that book.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if she finished that. I think she was finished something else.
Yeah,
Could be wrong, but I don't know.
her big one was Les Mis that she did.
Yes, yes.
She did, yeah, for sure. She read that long one, yeah.
Les Mis, and I know she was doing another one recently, but I don't remember.
Well, she's been reading one like as soon as she gets done with one, she picks another up. So like she did Crime and Punishment, and now she's.
I was about to say, didn't she just read Crime and Punishment like real recent?
That was it.
Everybody says that one's fairly good. So now I feel like I want to try that one. I have to put it on my list because I'm curious. It sounded better whenever I heard people talk about it than I thought in my head. I don't know why.
Right.
I've never been a classic fan, but I took that novels class in high school because I like to read, and even then, and we did read. We read a few that I like, but one of them that I've never heard people talk about, I think is totally underrated. It was one of my favorites that we read in the class. Was One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever read that?
What is it?
In college, yeah.
One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. It's great.
I never heard it yet.
And it's fairly short too for a classic. It's not very long because it literally follows like a guy for a day of his life. That's it. I mean, you know, and he's in a prison camp. It was so good. And I feel like that's a very underrated book.
I was laughing at Sherry because we just read the Picture of Dorian Gray together. We didn't really like it.
It hasn't been good. I'm right there with you, Sherry, but I'm still gonna try.
I think my expectations for that were higher than they should have been because this one was totally different than the other kind that I read by Oscar Wilde. And I like The Importance of Being Earnest. It's a comedy. It was like really funny. And this one was not.
Yeah, not. Yeah, not.
It was about this vain guy that I didn't like. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I said a classic a month. I would be impressed if I could do a quarterly classic. But I'll see how we start out the first month. You know, that'll give me the.
That's why I started my Buddy Reads channel. I have a Discord, for Buddy Reads because I thought, maybe if I start doing more classics, I can get people to like Buddy Read them with me, and I'll get through.
Right. True. That's it. Sherry's saying with others doing it, I'll try. That's how I feel. Yeah. If other people are doing it and I can talk about them, that might make me want to read it more and continue on. So
I feel with the Count book, it seems like I've heard more people like it than not like it. So that it makes me, think, well, maybe I'll be able to do it, even though it's like hugely thick book.
That's the only thing I've ever heard people complain about is like, oh, it's a big book, but never saying that it's bad or boring.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that Sherry has a great way of doing it where she, like, her schedule is 20 pages a day, and then she reads
Nancy,
something else.
Nancy.
I meant Nancy. I'm sorry. You're right. And then she reads something else the rest of the day, whatever her cozy is or whatever. Like, I could handle that. 20 pages, commit to that in a day. Unless it's The Grapes of Wrath. I ain't doing that ever again. I ain't doing it.
The Grapes of Wrath. Yeah, I could see. I mean, I watch some people who do that. Like, they'll take a book, they'll tab out how many days for the month or however long they want to read it and just read those pages that day. No, I could see. We're going to give it a try.
Well, because then even if I was probably really disliking it, I could commit to 20 a day.
Yeah,
like,
that's doable.
I could push through that,
Except if it's The Grapes of Wrath, she's not going to do that.
If it's The Grapes of Wrath, I'm taking it from Heatherland. I ain't doing it. You should check out her channel. It's pretty funny. I ain't doing it.
That's her exception.
And she always says the most funny things like, I would rather be baptized in pickle juice than read The Grapes of Wrath. I ain't doing it. She's so funny.
I'm going to have to look her up now.
Yeah, totally. She's
Yeah,
pretty-
she was reading with us too. She's using the children's edition. I was like, that's what I said. I needed the children's edition. I might have liked it more.
Yeah.
If it's working. We are doing this in 2022.
Yeah.
That's it. 2022.
You've got plenty of time to build up for it.
In January, I'm gonna do if anybody wants to, a buddy read of Laura Bradford's new book. It's a brand new series.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
Laura
wanna do
Bradford's
that.
also Elizabeth Lynn Casey. And she has a new series coming out because I interviewed her once and then she contacted me. And normally I always say, if you guys want to come back, that would be awesome. And she emailed me and she's like, I'd like to come back. I have this new book. And I realized, I'm like, what would I even talk about? So I'm like, maybe we'll do a read along.
There you go.
And then because I don't know what I would ask somebody who I've already interviewed for that length of time about, so I was like, well,
Yeah.
There you go.
oh.
And I also have my first readathon starting in January.
Can we have
She wants a hint.
I hate saying this, but Storm actually knows. So what hint would you give, Storm? Tiffany's like, what? It just came out one day. We were talking and it just came out.
Yeah.
If you had to give a hint. It's a hard one to give a hint.
It's a classic, kind of, in a way.
It's a beloved classic, yes.
A beloved classic.
Can I guess?
I will give you 3 tries right now if you can guess what it is.
Okay, it's a beloved classic.
Should I say what type of medium it is?
Oh yeah, please. That would help.
It's a beloved classic movie.
Okay, I got 3 guesses. Will you tell me if I'm right?
Yeah, absolutely, I would.
Okay, I'm going Wizard of Oz.
Nope.
Beloved classic.
I'll be shocked if she gets it.
Gone with the Wind.
No, I would not do that to anybody.
I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point.
I know, I get it.
It's my favorite.
Okay, I only have one more guess. Can I have one question?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. What's your
Is
question?
the movie longer than like 6 hours?
No.
Okay, so that's not the movie I'm thinking. Okay, I was gonna say Casablanca. One more. Okay, a beloved classic.
There's like the big word that you could put in there.
Yeah.
Then
What?
Maybe she could.
Either
Beetlejuice.
Oh, I know.
That was a good guess, though.
It's a musical.
Oh, now I'm interested.
But you already said your 3 guesses.
That's not the hint you gave me from the start, people.
I said it was a beloved classic movie.
Movie's different than a musical, and musicals are like my favorite thing on earth.
That's why I figured you'd be
So
like,
then you're gonna love this readathon.
Yes, musicals are my like favorite thing on earth.
Nice.
Pandora has a like movie musical and Broadway musical channel.
Yeah.
And when they first got them, I would like make Kevin listen to them in the car on the long trips.
Oh, he was probably ready to.
And like I would like sing along with him. And he was like, okay, you have another half hour and then we are done. We are turning this channel. And I was like, he's like, people are staring at you because people would like pass by us. And I'm like, and I was like, they're my fans. And he's like, what world do you live in? He's like, you don't live in the same world. Like, you don't know. They love me.
There you go. Sherry's already got the count tagged on Libby. Perfect.
there you go.
Just tell us that I have the Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland in Children's Edition. Is it one of those? No.
I guessed the Wizard of Oz. If I would have known it was a musical, I would have gone a totally different 3 different things. Just want to say that.
Wizard of Oz is a musical, though.
I don't think I've talked about it, how much it's like one of my favorites that she would
I
be.
was
able to guess
surprised
what's
as
in
soon
it.
as you said it was your favorite. I was like, wow, perfect. This works out perfect.
Yeah.
Tiffany's like, this is not fair that I don't know.
I feel like I should get 3 musical guesses. That would have been a totally different guess. Just saying.
Should we give 3 musical guesses, Storm?
Yeah, let her try.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going Cats,
No.
Hairspray.
Oh, no.
Oh, but I do like that one.
I do too. Both versions I love.
Yeah, I do too.
Fiddler on the Roof.
So,
No. Guesses though.
Meet Me in St. Louis. My Fair Lady.
No.
I like My Fair Lady too. Though.
I do too.
And Meet Me in St. Louis. I like them both.
I love musicals. I mean, I love musicals.
Oh,
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain.
That's another one I love. No.
Well, it's probably not Wicked because I don't feel like Wicked's been around long enough, although it's amazing.
No.
I know if I said like a
Phantom.
song, she'd get it.
It's Phantom.
There's so many things you could say that are going to give it like that.
I think it's Phantom.
I don't even know what the hell Phantom is. So.
Phantom of the Opera.
Oh. I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. No, it's not Phantom of the Opera.
Storm, can we talk afterwards?
Umbrella.
Mary Poppins.
That's a huge hint. Yes. Yes.
Yay!
I knew. I was like, that's the one thing I think is.
It's gonna be yeah.
Yep. The other big thing is I was gonna say Disney.
I was gonna say a beloved Disney classic. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as we're talking about the classic and not the remake.
Yeah. Like,
There's no such thing in my mind.
Oh, but there is.
It's Gene Wilder and it's Julie Andrews all the way. I don't know of these other people in which you speak. So
yeah.
no.
Fair enough.
It's like with the Wonka thing. It's like
Yeah.
the other one doesn't exist. The other Mary
Right.
Poppins doesn't exist either.
No.
Absolutely.
Nina loves Mary Poppins. So yeah, so anybody that was in here got a spoiler alert of what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna start singing "Step in Time, Step in Time."
That's what we
As soon as I hear Mary Poppins, I think of a spoonful of sugar.
I think of so many songs. Yeah, exactly.
I thought that one would be too easy if I would have done Spoonful of Sugar. So
There you go.
supercalifragilistic.
That's you said a big word, and I'm like, it's either she's gonna know it or get confused. So, but Beetlejuice was a good call for that one too.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's what it's gonna be.
Fun. I'm so excited. Yay.
And she's got pretty graphic too.
That's awesome.
So that'll be our.
All right.
first one.
Well, it's probably like 9:45, so we should probably let
It is.
Leah get to her wrestling.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my food and then some wrestling. So.
All right, guys. See everybody tomorrow, hopefully.
See you guys tomorrow, and we'll be loving or hating our conversation tomorrow. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Lee.
You're welcome.